Welcome back, guys, to This and Much More podcast. I'm Evelyn, and my lovely co-host is
Rollie Vogues.
And our special guest today is
The90Three. My name's Gus.
Miguel.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the podcast.
Was that good?
It's good. It sounds good. It sounds
Okay.
good. But I kind of want to keep them on for a little bit, just to.
But it's good that
make
it's
sure.
in the middle.
Yeah, it's good in the middle.
Okay.
I don't even think y'all have to like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm good from right
Yeah,
here.
you're good
yeah,
from
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or what if they push it a little bit closer? Would it be better? Or no?
I think it's good right there. That way, it's a directional mic, you know. So it's gonna.
Get everything.
Yeah, it'll get.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. We only got one. 3 mics.
I was supposed to get another one, you know, but.
Yeah, he
for
was.
sure, for sure.
When he told me that it was like 4 of y'all, I was like, he's like, I'm gonna get them, and I'm like, no, like we're not gonna have space. He's like, we're gonna make it happen, and I'm like, no, we don't have space. Like how?
Yeah,
Because
that was
he's
like,
like,
tough.
I
looking
know.
out.
He's like, they could just take turns, and I'm like,
No, I was thinking 2 of y'all would sit, and then the other 2 kind of like zigzag off, like kind of like boom, 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 like that, and then the ones in the back were gonna like
have the
pass,
other mic.
pass the mic.
The
Yeah,
one, the
No, I
fourth
can see
one
that.
that is like,
Yeah.
but it's
So,
still like, I
like,
was like,
Or on some
It would've been
stools-
tough.
On some
Yeah.
stools or
It worked
something.
out, it worked
Yeah,
out.
it worked out.
yeah, it would have been good.
But shout out Jesse. and,
Yeah,
my
Jesse's in France, and my wife's she's getting some stuff ready for a little birthday party she's going to.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
So let's talk about just to start off. What's the name of the brand? Like,
Yeah, so the brand's called The90Three.
okay,
We've been going on, I want to say 5 years now. I would say probably 3 of those years figuring everything out, 2 of those years actually like a business, and so it's been a crazy journey for sure, learning process.
It's registered and everything.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we registered. So let's say we've been registered for 5 years.
Oh, okay. No.
But no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
we probably like registered a year ago
Was it a year already?
officially. Probably more than a year. Yeah,
Doesn't that make it, even though you've been having it for so long, doesn't that make it
Oh, yeah,
even more official?
we were
like,
excited.
Oh yeah,
alright.
for sure.
We're
It's
excited.
it's different when you actually register. I think everybody should go ahead and do it. I know a lot of times you're like, I'm just gonna see where it goes, but so many other things open once you set it up. You can like, without going too into the business side. I mean, you can take losses. Write things off. You can. It
Yeah.
opens up to having like wholesale accounts, and
Yeah.
I didn't think of that when I first started. I just thought like,
I didn't even know about any of that.
Yeah.
So who's the business mind? And the
or does everybody have like a certain task that within the brand, or is everybody? Or how does that
I mean,
work?
it's an interesting dynamic, I would say. If
Yeah.
I could kind of like briefly summarize
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
see everybody,
For sure.
it's like, so my wife handles a lot of the accounting. Her name's Maeve. She handles a lot of the accounting stuff, a lot of inventory, shipping out. If there's an issue, she will respond to it. I handle a lot of the design work and the graphics and the marketing. Miguel is pretty much like I don't know. He's like the
Promoter?
social,
Almost the
promoter.
face of it.
He's because he's the one that has like, I would say like the good social skills. So
he does.
He has like, everybody's his friend. Like he's the kind of guy that like
Nah, for real.
has somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
And then Jesse, he's been like my oldest friend since 3rd grade. So when I first started the brand, I was like trying to find people who'd be interested, and he was the only one that was down. He was like, yeah, man, let's do it. He's kind of like that kind of guy. And so, but now he's becoming like the webmaster. So he handles inputting like the items onto the website, updating
Scheduling,
pictures,
so,
scheduling.
yeah.
And so
like
that's
this-
kind of like the breakdown.
Did he create where do y'all have y'all's website?
So our website is the90three.com.
No, I know, but like
But the so
program.
we use Shopify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little bit easier. When we first started it, I think I used it was Adobe something, but I like legit built the website, and it was like, but it was, I didn't know how to add it like a shopping thing on there, so I had it like I set it up on the Adobe program. I think it was Dreamweaver. Like they ended up closing it out, but it was Dreamweaver, and then you click the button and it goes to what is that other one where it was like the Square website. It was a Square website, and so I had the whole website, and then you click shop, and it takes you to the Square. So that's how I first started it.
It was real, like.
It was
it was cool at the time.
Was it
at the
giving
time.
you like scammy vibes, like taking you to a different website to buy something?
Probably. Yeah, I'll probably.
We probably did lose customers.
I mean, you probably shopped because Miguel didn't start with us from the very beginning.
I was gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. You can talk about it.
Yeah. So, like you said, y'all started in what 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I just joined in 2020, so I just made 2 years with the brand.
Okay.
So when we first started, we've always talked about starting a brand since 2012, our senior year. Yeah. Obviously, we're seniors. We had no money. We're way over our heads. We didn't know anything. We didn't know how to start. It was just all talk, and then it never happened. And then he started the brand. Him and Jesse started in 2018. And then I want to say, I don't know if it was like, you didn't ask me right away, but I remember you pulling me to the side and was like, hey, you want to join? And I said no. Like at first I said no, because I'm the type that when he asked me, they were already doing pop-ups. They were kind of already far in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always look at time, I was like, man, they're putting a lot of time in. And I was like, nah, bro, like I'm busy. Like I hate to sound like that, but like I'm always doing something. And to this day, he knows like I'm always doing something. I was like, nah, like I would love to, bro, but I don't feel like I could commit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say yes, and then I can't show up to pop-ups. I can't be there for meetings, because we have meetings too, either in person or on Google. Yeah. And I was like, nah, I'm not ready. And then I guess another year when COVID hit, all we had was nothing but time. So the brand was growing a little bit more for them, and I started thinking, and I hit them up. I was like, man, this is me. I want to talk to you. And I was like, hey, like, if the offer's still on the table, bro, I would like to join. And so it was like June 2020. That's when we dropped the 713T.
Yeah, like shortly after. Well, actually, when you came on, we dropped that. It was at, I think it was like just brand tees, I think. Yeah. And then we worked on that project. Yeah. But it's interesting because, like, to preface that, it's like we were in San Jacinto College South. Mm-hmm. And we were just, you have off periods. And so we had like a big off period. And we were like, bro, let's make a brand. And we were going to call it Adorn. And
Adorn?
Adorn, yeah. Yeah. And so that was like the big idea. We were like, bro, we made all these things. And the crazy thing is, we had a mock-up that it looked like... the Magna Carta album from Jay-Z? Mm-hmm. So we had something just like it. And this was before the album came out. And so we were like, bro, this would be crazy. We should drop this, right? But then we realized, like, it costs money to make clothes. So we're like, we barely got jobs. Yeah. So we're like,
still fresh in college.
Man, we ain't have to, maybe right now is not a good time. But but then years later, like, I started working at T-Mobile at the time. So I was like a salesman. And, I was kind of realizing, like, man, I'm like slinging these phones and there's none of it's going to me. I'm making like a little commission. It's like, why don't I sell my own thing? And then I still wanted to do a brand. And so I just started doing it and we made it happen. And, but I think the 2 years before Miguel came on, we kind of established kind of like a foundation of how it's going to work. And then I think once Miguel came on, we knew that, like, I'm kind of introverted. I mean, I have my friends and stuff, but I don't really I'm not a big social person like that. And Jesse, he's a big personality, but he was so into dancing at the time. Like, he's a breakdancer, like professional breakdancer. Yeah. And so,
what's his last name?
Magana?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's still heavy.
Yeah, so he dances with
the world.
Yeah, he dances with a company called Fly Dance Company, and so they travel and they do performances. They're kind of like they do breakdancing, but they use like modern music, so they work with symphonies and stuff like that. Yeah. And so they do shows around the world. But so he was very big on that, and so we knew that we needed more help. We got to the point where like we still weren't booming or nothing, but we still needed like, hey, like we need more help. And that's when I told my wife, who was already helping me all the time, I was like, hey, I think you should be like owner of this, like you've been right here with me the whole time. Why not like add you on? Mm-hmm. And then I brought it up again to Miguel, or I think we had started talking about it. And then when he came on, it was like I don't know, it's like the Avengers came together, and it's just like we just started blowing up from there. Miguel already knew a lot of people, and they trust Miguel, and so it was like, we already had a solid design. Yeah, because Miguel had that trust with social.
I always thought it was your brand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like the whole time, like.
Yeah. Well, my goal was to always
I already knew that the brand was there before Miguel.
Okay, maybe because I only follow you, so I felt like I would see you post it, so I was like, oh shit, he started a brand or whatever.
No, it's all good. So whenever I announced, like I made a big announcement on Instagram. Yeah. I remember the brand was like around 800 followers. and it really showed, you know, how much people really mess with me. And because I think in 2 days I grew it to 1,000. And so that was like a big accomplishment. Like everyone wants to hit 1,000, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely the first goal, 1K. And so after because I put it on my personal IG, like, hey, you know, I'm about to start, or I'm about to join this brand or whatever, and like 200 people, 300 people followed. I know you were like, you couldn't believe that.
I mean, but my thing was like, I had a feeling that was gonna happen because I know like I think you have to know what your strengths are in a business, you know, especially if you're forming a team. Like I can do designs and I can put things together and market it well, but I'm not like the kind of person that's gonna put himself in front of the company. You know, like I can't be the face, or that's just not who I am.
So let me ask you this. What made you wanna like get a group? I know you said you have to know like your strengths and weaknesses, but I guess when you start a brand, because I have my brand, right, but it's more, you know, directed towards girls. But I'm thinking like I don't know, I can't see myself asking somebody like, hey, join me, because I feel like I'm the face of the brand, so I feel like I wouldn't know how to share that.
Yeah. I think
you know what I mean?
Without,
without sounding like like that I'm being selfish, because I feel like it's like, damn, I worked, you know, it's gonna be a year in January, so if I feel like if I brought somebody on, I would feel like, damn, all that work, and they're gonna get a lot of the credit for it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I think for me, it's like you kind of have to. For me personally, how I felt is like I had to be humble enough to know that I can't do it by myself. Especially if when I started, it was like the vision is that I want to make. So for creative use, I always go creative because it's about the person that's creating. So it's not necessarily like an object. It's for creative use. Like this coffee cup is for creative use. It's like it's for the creative to use. You know what I mean? And so my idea was like, you know, me by myself, like I can make the graphics, but I need somebody that's gonna help and be the person to like to talk to people, to be that salesperson, you know? Yeah. And so I felt like and Miguel's always been like that for me forever. Like he knows everybody, you know? And so I was like, bro, you could sell water to a fish, you know what I'm saying? Like you can so it's just like to me it was like I need more people and I want this to grow. So I mean, think of like big companies, like it's not just one person, you know. Unless you're already like an influencer, somebody that has like status or has a following, and you just happen to start a brand, then it's easier and it's different, you know. But for us, it's like, and I always wanted to stay away from the brand. Like I didn't even want people to know that I own the brand, you know, because I felt like
from the beginning. From the beginning,
because so when I first started, like, so I breakdanced when I was in high school, right? High school going into college, and my first market was to like b-boys and stuff, right? And so the way I saw it is like, if I put myself in front of it, why would anybody who's like a big b-boy like support somebody who's like not that big, you know? So I figure if I separate myself from it, then it's not like, oh, that's Gus's brand, that's the 90.
You rather than buy for what's on the shirt versus
so it's kind of like
I completely feel
you take away that bias, you know? It's like, oh, okay, so this
don't buy because it's for me, buy because you like it. You know what I'm
exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie, because
I've always been like that too.
Yeah, because whenever I started Superior, I always felt like I wanted people to know it was my brand, you know, in the beginning. And that was in 2015. And I'm not gonna lie, since 2015 to now, it hasn't grown crazy, you know, because I do other stuff, so my main focus is not on it. But I think over the years, I started realizing like, all right, like I need to kind of like step back, and I started watching other brand owners and how they're not really the face of it, you know. And then that's when I started being like, all right, well, I'm gonna get other people to model. I'm gonna get other photographers, because I was doing photography, I was doing the modeling, I was doing all this shit.
Yeah, because it was Superior started with both of us. But then I was like, it's not my style, like, you know, remember?
Yeah.
And then we made it legal with both of us being like the owners of it, you know? But I mean, we're married, so it was, and then at some point he would be like, oh, what do you think about this? And I wouldn't agree with the idea, but he was the creative one, but he would still like not consult, but consult really. And I was like, nah, I don't like it. I don't want that color. So then I'm like, you know what? Just keep Superior, like, you know, because I know he has, I mean, creatives, people you're creative, right? So it's just like, your mind is very different, like when you think about like ideas, right? So
and then it's crazy because it's hard for me to like, all right, I think like, all right, it's my brand, it's my way to do whatever I want to do, you know, whatever. So if somebody comes up to me and is like, oh, I think you should do this, you know, whatever, I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know, but I'm trying to do
like,
this.
It frustrate you a little bit.
Yeah.
A little hurt, I think.
He's like, you need to fuck up.
They'd be like, hey, anyways.
But I think it's that like that passion for your your baby, you know. When you create something, that's your baby. And so I think even like in the design process, and I went to U of H, and I went into I studied photography and digital media, and so I had a professor who told me, and this is the best way to explain it, because I know you've probably gone through this while designing stuff, and even just like yesterday's drop, like you create your babies, right? And like at some point in that process, you know, he would say kill some babies. Like you have to like put, okay, maybe this one isn't right, you know, you put it aside and you take it out. And that's like the editing process. And so if somebody comes in and tells you, hey, I think you should do this, I kind of sometimes take offense to it, you know. But when working in a team, you have to like humble yourself and be like, all right, maybe,
which is, you know, like basically what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because that's what I was saying too. Like, as a owner, right, like of the brand, like I feel like it would be so hard for me. I do ask my friends or cousins, like, you know, and sometimes they give me feedback, and I'm just like, they don't fucking know. Like,
nah, but for real,
don't know.
you
don't be designing.
Like, it's like it's not what I want to hear, you know.
I'll think about it. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, but see, with girls, it's like different, you know, because they're just like, I don't know, maybe because I'm a girl, right? I feel like when I ask for opinions, they'll give me like raw like opinions, and I'm just like, damn, bitch, like I'm just asking, like, you know, chill. But like you don't have to come at me like that, right? But that's why I knew that Superior was more his baby than mine, you know. But I was like, you know what, just keep it, let me figure something out with myself. And I mean, and he's been doing really good with Superior, but I do see how it's been out for so long, but I also see how much it's grown, as in like you too, because you didn't, I mean, maybe the brand not so much, but like I've seen the knowledge, you know.
Yeah, the knowledge is there. It's just,
I mean, we've been following you guys, I mean, for a while now, and I see the work. I mean, it's always been like clean work. So
yeah, appreciate it.
I mean, but I think just a brand is hard regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like especially if you don't have like an influencer or somebody that's big pushing your brand or co-signing you, like it's hard. Like you really have to grassroot it. Like,
and it's annoying because it's not annoying, but it is annoying because as much as you want others to do their own thing too, they make it seem so easy, right? But it's not.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
so you'll have like
hard.
all these other brands coming up, which is cool, right? Like started, but then I don't know where they disappear because I feel like they realize how hard it is to actually keep up with the brand.
It's hard.
You know?
And it's a consistency thing too. Like, if you don't drop for a long time, like I feel like people just tend to like unfollow or forget about you or whatever. Which happened to me over the years. You know, like I know there was a few years that I was like not dropping shit just because
life,
whatever. You know,
that's the hardest part. I mean, so when we started the LLC and so I put it on myself and I put it on everybody else. Like we're dropping every week. And so we did that we did
pretty good at that for a little bit.
But every week though.
Every week.
It burns you out though, right?
It did.
Yeah.
So
I had probably one of my worst like burnouts. I think it was probably, we didn't even finish a year of doing it. I think like halfway through I like burnt out, and like I thought it was depression, bro. Like it was just so much work. I had my real job, and then doing like drops every week, designing, mocking up, like posting, adding it to the site and stuff like that. And I burnt out.
So how did y'all keep up with the inventory, or was that pre-orders?
No, at the time I think we were doing
everything was ready
so
to go.
The main thing that we did is we would design in bulk. So we would design maybe 4 or 5 things at once, get them all ordered. We'd do like small runs. If it sold more, then we'd just get another run of it. But we did it in bulk. So we would design in quarters. So for that quarter, we would come together, design like 6 or 8 tees, and then we would just schedule them out. And we knew we already had the designs and everything, so we would just schedule them out as they went. So that's pretty much how we still kind of do that now. But I think the past, we've been going based off feeling, and so not so much structure. It's more just like we know we need to drop a certain amount per month. It's just not as scheduled and like weekly now.
So how was all this like funded, if you don't mind me asking? Like, because I know that shit's hard, bro. Like, so even coming up with money to do your first run at all, you know, and y'all are doing like bulk orders.
Yeah.
Is it bulk orders or like bulk designs?
Like we'll order like eight t-shirts. Sometimes we'll do like just the minimum. We'll do 20 just so we can have some samples, take pictures.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we know something's like big, we'll do like maybe 40, 50 at a time.
Of a shirt?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's a big run for like.
Yeah,
a shirt.
but it's like it's rare.
It's like yeah.
we know when something's gonna sell.
Yeah, like we know like
when it's a great
yeah,
design.
like this is
Yeah.
definitely a 40-50 piece, or this one's
50
like
piece.
for sure though, for real. And then like this one's like we'll look at it as like nah, bro, let's keep it like at 20, bro.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah,
but
we're getting a little. We're experimenting. Let's just do like 20. You know,
let's see how it goes. You know.
Yeah.
No, we can keep going a little bit, but
no, but yeah, it's. I mean,
So do y'all all like pitch in for it, or do you get a loan?
So go ahead.
I'll just say like so when I first started it, me and my best friend Jesse, we started it. We both put in I want to say $1,000, and so we used that to get our first collection.
Okay.
We were like, man, we're finna sling these tees. We ordered 100 of each design or something like that. And so we had like all these shirts. Yes, so we had 100 shirts of different things. And like, we did sell a good amount. We eventually sold them, but it took like 3 or 4 months to sell everything, you know?
Yeah.
But so we did that. And then, we went with the cheapest printer. So we had a lot of things that were stained. So it wasn't even like good stuff.
Yeah.
But luckily, since we've all had our own jobs, the company keeps its money and it just keeps floating into its own thing.
Just
at that point,
we didn't even really take money for ourselves until like 2 months ago. Like we just said, you know what, we're gonna have a small percentage of everything that we sell will get split up between us and the company. So we'll like, let's say this was just somebody I work with that he's had companies. He's like a director. He's like broke it down to a product. So like you have a T-shirt. All right, break it down into. The company gets 1 share, y'all all get 1 share, or do 2 shares per the company, and then 4 for you guys. And so you break it down. There's a little number, so it's like $1 per shirt or something like that we get. And then at the end of the month, you calculate all your products, and that's how much each person gets. And
so basically, the company's been funding itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it. Really.
We haven't had to take out money for ourselves in 5 years.
That's where you want to get to, like that point.
Yeah.
Where it's just
and it's
itself.
good that the team that you have understands that.
Yeah.
That it's really you're doing it to grow until where it can financially.
Oh yeah, like for sure. Even when I joined, I knew I wasn't gonna see no money. I did it because like, man, I love clothing, I love fashion. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm ready to hop on. Like I love this stuff. So even today, you know what I'm saying, like we've barely made anything, but to see the growth, and hopefully we get there one day, you know. Yeah. But I mean, I love doing this. I love dropping. I love to see the orders come in. Like it's like a high for me. Like I love it.
And what's your TikTok name?
Miguel Fan.
Oh, okay. Why did you call him? What did you say he was on TikTok?
Drip King.
Oh,
yeah. That's what he called me. That's just what he called me.
But
let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back.
Yes, sir. But I was gonna say, like people, they'll say some dumb shit on TikTok, bro, and like we'll post clips of the podcast, and they'll just have smart comments, and then you're not supposed to let it get to you, you know. But then I'm over there like fucking just talking shit back, and then some dude, I seen a comment that like, I don't know which one of y'all. They're like, I don't know which of the two of us is like, I don't know which one of y'all is responding to these people, but I'm gonna subscribe because of that. Just because I talk a lot of shit, you know.
Yeah, because
some people love it.
Yeah, I don't let it get to me. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like they've said, like I'm dyslexic, and they said like a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah, like we can't make mistakes, like bro. Like
no, but the video where they said that
it's because it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
like,
I was reading something, but I was saying something out loud.
Is that the one that went viral?
Yeah.
Or we've had. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that clip over and over again. I showed it to him. I showed it to my girl. Yeah. I was like, hey, listen to what she said, and then I paused it, like, what she say, like, first. And then I was like, all right, keep watching. Like and then like the comments were the first comment, like the top comment was like, am I tweaking? So I was like, I'm too high for this.
No, like that one. Like
so that one was really you weren't playing.
No,
I really thought you were messing with him. Hey, that's good. I really thought you were messing with him.
Honestly,
like trying to make him look dumb.
And it's crazy that it was recorded, bro. Because if it wasn't, I would have been tripping. I was like, oh shit, I'm tripping.
That Roland, whenever we went like on a break or whatever, he's like, oh, I thought you said this, and I'm like, no, I said worse. And he was like, oh, okay. So then I watched the podcast, like I was washing the dishes or whatever, and then I heard myself. I was like, oh shit, I did say first. Yeah. I did say first. And then I told him, oh my God, I did say it. And he made a clip out of it.
Yeah,
Because
I'm not
I
gonna lie.
caught it.
Even
perfect, though.
even the question though to her saying what's the fact that you said Gerber, I was dying,
It's
bro.
so
Like,
serious too.
I was like,
probably like a Gerber, no?
Yeah, I like some kind of Gerber.
Gerber, no, yeah. And then she's like, Gerber, and then she's like, mine would be sushi. And then I'm like, wait, what you? I was like, sushi.
Hold on,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
It's like the worst food. I'm like, oh shit, like what the fuck?
and people got so offended.
Yeah, people like
because-
worst, like sushi. Like
But
she's
it was-
You don't like
tripping.
sushi?
No, yeah, but I ended up explaining that it was raw sushi.
Yeah,
You know,
so
because-
the longer clip is like she likes sushi,
I
just
like
not
sushi.
Because
raw.
I
sushi.
remember
Okay.
Yeah.
you said you like sushi.
Yeah, I like sushi.
I'll be watching your stuff.
Yeah, but it's just like whenever my friend took me to eat sushi the first time, she like gave me raw sushi, and I feel like sushi you have to work yourself to
Yeah,
it.
It's
you
kind of
know?
like a steak, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like,
and then oh my god, that's when I was like gagging. I was like, oh my god, I don't like sushi. But that was the worst experience I feel like I had. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but
That was
but-
hilarious. Though. That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
You should have just left it at like, nah, I was messing with him.
I should have.
Right?
But I wanted to let him know that yeah, you weren't wrong. I did fuck up, and then he made a clip out of it. Like, okay.
But hey, it did
Yeah.
super well.
Yeah, it did
It's
well.
like
It
at
did really good.
350K, I
Yeah, it
think.
did
Yeah.
really
That's
good.
awesome,
TikTok.
bro.
But yeah, TikTok they talk a lot of shit. But
Oh, yeah.
it's
Trust
pretty
me.
funny. Like you know.
Well,
it's
see, I feel like if I can real quick, like since I started TikTok, you know, I collect fitted hats. My content's on mostly Astros, so I get a lot of hate from Yankees and Dodgers fans. Like that's
Yeah.
always them.
for real, it's always them.
It's always a Yankee or Dodgers fan. It's literally no other fan of any other team has talked mess to me besides a Yankee and a Dodgers fan. Always.
Oh wow, that's fucking crazy.
Crybabies.
Yeah, but you're doing your thing on there, bro, on TikTok.
Appreciate
Clip.
it. I'm trying, bro. I'm
make it a
trying.
clip.
I'll make it a clip.
Tag him on TikTok.
Cry babies, bro. And I try to show nothing but love and positivity, bro. Like, cause there's also Dodgers fans that follow me and love me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, like, you know, you're supposed to support your team. Like, if that's your team, support the Dodgers. I said, as long as you're not on here hating, cause I said it on the live one time. As long as you're not on here hating, bro, like we can be friends, you know. Like I don't care. Like I got friends that are Cowboys fans. I got friends. I got a friend that's a Dodgers fan. Like we're good friends. You know what I'm saying? And like, of course, we'll friendly talk mess with each other. But like, as long as you're not being disrespectful, I don't care who your team is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's one of those conversations, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just like it doesn't matter who you represent.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
really
but you
care.
know what's crazy? Like the people that are like super fans, kind of make like baseball. It could be any type of
Yeah.
team, but it's like a gang, right? Like,
Yeah.
bro, if you catch yourself like at a Dodgers stadium or whatever, like, damn, I don't know, wearing like Astro shit, it's kind of like putting yourself out there. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
people will throw fucking
Nothing
punches
unites
at
people
you.
like sports for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Like I don't know if y'all felt this, but like, you know, Texas is already kind of divided as it is. But
Yeah.
when the Astros were in the World Series and we won, there was like a little sense of like unity for a couple of days.
Oh,
like
yeah.
people just didn't care. We're all Astros fans, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think went back to normal after the midterm election. Like back to normal. Back to
He
your
was trying to
previous
think of something.
Yeah, so
I just
how-
went back
I
to
can-
yeah, back to normal.
You don't want to get too political.
Nah, but that's why I love sports,
Yeah.
man. I be on Twitter all the time talking mess because of sports, but like yeah, sports is just like I don't know what it is, like
Plant a little
basketball, like everything.
Spin the plant a little bit. That way, it's not the leaf. No, the other way.
It keeps hitting me.
Oh, sorry, like that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fine.
That'll do that.
That one's like right there.
Yeah, we'll
We need to trim
Put her
these.
up there.
It's fake, but we gotta trim it.
Right? It keeps growing somehow.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So let's talk about the Astros thing. Like, y'all dropped the T-shirt for it or no?
Yeah, so we did the one we did yesterday was you know, kind of like our celebration in our way of like, you know, designing like
The
our
Tueston
expression.
one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Tueston one. And so it's like if you look at like the Rockets when they won their two, they referred to them as Tueston.
Yeah.
And so we're like now the Astros are that Tueston, you know. And
Okay.
so we wanted to drop something kind of inspiring to the people of Houston, and then also for us, you know, we
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff we make and we put out is like just stuff that we would wear. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are we gonna wear? And so
Yeah, I
for
can't
this,
wait
for this
to
collection,
come in.
yeah. So we did a pre-order this one, but for this collection in particular, it started with three tees and one pin. One of the tees took me like 5 days to do it, like designing the little because I did it on Illustrator, so I did it all like from like the little lines, the circles, everything. And basically the idea was I was recreating the gallery furniture marquee, and
Okay.
I was making it with Tueston instead of gallery furniture. And
Okay.
so but I ended up doing it, and I did it. It took me 3 or 4 days or whatever, And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do another. Well, me and Miguel had been working on the Bury Me in the H one since the Yankees one. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do one more, so it's 3 shirts, you know. And so I do this one. I whip up the Tucson one on the tan like in 30 minutes or whatever. I put it out, and then I put them on a graphic, and I share them to the team. I share it to my homies, and then they're all like, man, that tan one is fire. Yeah. And so I'm pissed. I'm like, I worked on this shirt like all week, and then the one I whipped up in 30 minutes, everybody loves. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what?
That's why I'm laughing so hard, because like that's the behind the scenes that people don't see, bro.
Yeah,
like, and it always happens to him. But that's what I'm trying to tell him, bro. Don't overthink. Like,
and you know, I shared the one that I worked hard on. It was my favorite one. I was like, hey, you get it?
Which one's your favorite one?
Well, mine originally was the Tucson with the Gallery Furniture one, because I was like, man, it's smart, you know. And then I show people, and they're like, you know, what is it? Like, why? I don't like the square. And I was like, man. And so
we should work on that part, but the actual Tucson and that's hard.
Yeah, I like it. And so we're thinking like making that a pin, but I ended up scratching it for this drop.
Man, just make it samples, because I still want the shirt. I know what it is. Man, I said I don't know. Sometimes we should just make some samples, and not everybody has to have it.
Yeah, you know but I think it's like sometimes like the way I'm looking at it in a positive light is like sometimes you got to work on a project and then be working for that inspiration to come, you know. Sometimes we wait around for like inspiration to hit, and sometimes it only catches you when you're working, you know. So if I wouldn't have worked on that, I wouldn't have whipped up that other one that now did really well, you know. Yeah. Like we posted it, and like usually we'll make a post.
Let me see them. I want to see them.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll give you my
for sure.
My girl.
For sure. And sometimes like what was I saying? I'm saying sorry, I tripped out for a little bit. Oh, okay. But
so here's the.
Okay, I like it.
I seen those today. Actually,
let me see it. I already like the.
You just swipe. We dropped 2.
Okay.
And so I showed everybody, and everybody was like, "Yeah, that tan one. That tan one's it."
I think it's the tan color.
Yeah, that tan one.
People love tan.
It's
my favorite too, bro.
We've stuck to neutral for
tans and gray.
I seen those today.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, since this podcast we're just talking, I feel like, because I love this style too. Like that's.
Yeah. I thought that was the one that was gonna do good, but
this one kind of got overshadowed, bro.
But do you think it's because you have to swipe to see it? Or
nah, I'll be thinking
because that happens a lot. Sometimes I try not to put like
swipes, because I always feel the same way. I feel like people don't swipe.
It's the first shit that you see, you know. Like
but sometimes when you open up Instagram, the second picture is the one that posts, and then you just gotta swipe to see the first one. But I think
I still did good. I mean, shout out to the people that bought both, bro.
Yeah,
like, there's people, a handful of people that bought both. You know, that's.
It's rare.
And those are pre-orders, right?
Yeah, pre-orders. But it's not only that it's rare, it's just like I said, like I told you earlier, like that's what I love to see. And it's the fact that people just spent $120, after taxes and shipping, it came out to like $120. And it's like the fact that somebody is really spending a bill on us, you know what I'm saying? Like I just love to see it, bro.
Yeah, and we did the price one.
I'm always grateful, bro. And I try to remember everybody's name that buys. Like I try to remember everybody.
Name 5. Huh? Name 5.
Put me on the spot. I was like, what? No, but I do it. But that's when I first got on, I didn't remember everybody.
Yeah.
But now it's like we actually get people that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to I don't know if y'all know Exclusive Elements.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, they last night like at 12 right at 12 they like put in an order for all their staff like of the t-shirt,
and it's from the store, so the order said Exclusive Elements.
Y'all need to post that.
No, for sure. And it was just crazy. We were like, what on earth? Like and we see them like as like this big company, you know, like company, but like this big store, you know. We know the guy, he's a small business owner, but like we see them as like, you know, they're on Meet 'em All. Like we grew up at on Meet 'em All, so it's like the store is this big store, you know.
The store is such a nice store,
and we're like,
he did a rug for them.
Yeah, I did a rug for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's I don't know if it's
Rolando and it's the AB.
AB, right? Shout out AB.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I know AB.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get him on the podcast. Like I know they did one podcast already. So we were gonna try to get him on here.
He's a great guy.
Shout out AB, shout out Exclusive, man.
Great guy for sure.
That was our biggest order, like online order.
Yeah, and
crazy.
So we were
that's badass though.
It was like just under $500.
So do y'all have all access to Shopify?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so y'all all get the
we pay that extra to get all 4 of us.
Yeah. So isn't it badass when you're like chilling and then you just hear the ching ching and it's like, oh shit, we got an order.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times
yesterday was probably one of our best drops.
Yeah, online
in a while.
Yeah, I mean, and it hurt us a little bit to go at that $50 price, but it's like things have gone up so much, man. It's like, I hate to go, like, we would love to stay to, we were at 35 for like a long time, and then we started doing bigger designs, and we had to go to 40, and we were fighting it, bro. But now it's just like things are so expensive to make, man. Like with inflation.
So how do you
understand?
So the design, like, is it like what? It's not screen print, is it?
Yeah, it'll be screen printed.
It'll be screen printed.
That'll be screen printed.
Yeah.
So
six color print or.
Yeah. It has to be. It's sometimes so our guy, sometimes he'll say, you know, we might have to do 7 and put a little white layer on top to like make it pop, you know. And so
so who's your guy? Shout him out.
Yeah, our guys, so if y'all have ever heard of Urban Assault,
yeah,
Danny, he's the one.
He closed down, right?
Yeah, so they closed down. They had a just a numerous of break-ins, and so that last, I mean, when I talked to him, I guess not to get too much business, but basically he told me like they were getting braver and braver. And so the last thing they wanted is somebody to come in like while they're open, you know.
Yeah.
And so they just ended up saying it wasn't worth it. And so he's still doing his thing. Urban Assault, like UA is his clothing brand, and we started going to a shop in high school, and that was kind of like
you can buy UA at exclusive
elements. Yeah,
okay, that's dope.
Sure.
That's dope.
And
so he's the one that's doing the screen printing stuff.
Yeah, we've gone through a couple guys, but him and then also KB Customs, who he works out of over there on Beamer. That guy, he's good too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he does crazy work. He's done a lot of our work too. Both of them have done a lot of our work. It's just it just depends.
Oh, that's dope.
So do y'all do mainly screen print?
Yeah,
right?
for the most part too. Yeah,
I think that's all we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, we've thought about doing like DTG, but
what do y'all think about DTG?
I mean, I think it looks great. I think it's pricier. We've never done it. Like I've had people that have done DTG. Like I've helped them design stuff and they use it, and it comes out great. I mean, it looks good. Yeah. We do
the color doesn't pop as much, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a little matted for sure. I mean, you can see a little more intricate stuff in the design, but I mean, like anytime I tell these guys like, hey, I'm thinking about doing DTG, they're like, no, I got you on screen, don't worry, bro. Like, and then they never fail. So we've never missed.
We've almost done it several times, but we're always gonna listen to, you know.
Yeah, they're the professionals.
If they think screen print's better, then okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think screen print is top.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
which shout out to them because it's more work on their part because it's 6 screens, you know, or 6 to 8 or whatever.
I mean, y'all do screen print, right? So it's just like we did this one.
Also, shout out, we did this one.
Yeah, I did this one, but I haven't done any multicolor stuff yet. You know, I've only done like single color just because.
No, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to the guys because when we did like this one, it was just like, oh my god, such a hassle, and it's just one color. Like,
yeah, it's hard.
Well, y'all can see that.
Yeah, that's the same one we have.
Yeah, and shout out to those two guys because they're probably the guys that are like making all the clothes for like Houston. Like, honestly, like they got so many brands that they work for, man, and those are the true.
So, what's your turnaround time?
Usually like it's probably like 3 weeks or so.
Oh, okay.
But we tell people 3 to 6 weeks just in case of anything. You know, we want to set that expectation ahead of time. Because for us, like I think, like
I tell my close friends that buy it, please be patient, because I can talk to you know what I'm saying. The homies like, hey, it's a pre-order, bro. Nothing's ready.
And sometimes those are the people are like, what the fuck?
Exactly. That's why I tell them, hey, it's a pre-order. Because a lot of people don't read descriptions.
Yeah, they don't read.
So what's the difference for y'all? Like, do y'all prefer to do pre-orders or ready to ship?
I like to do ready to ship. I think pre-order comes from a time where it's like you want to be timely. Right? Yeah, like this one's like, if we wait another 3 weeks for it to drop, people are not going to be over. Like they're going to be over the whole Astros win. You know, I mean they're not, but like you know, there's kind of like it's a timing thing.
The hype isn't like going to be just there.
Yeah,
right?
It's a timing thing. So it's like you want to, as a brand, I feel like you got to react to what's going on too. You know, and so if you wait another 3 weeks, we might not get the same reaction that we did right now. You know, even at that, we still like delayed it a bit. Like there are some other brands that. They did it like maybe a day after. Right? They were ready. And we knew we had to be ready, but it was just like work and other stuff was going on. So
damn, I think that's what we're lacking too, right? Like
what, the timing?
The timing.
Yeah, because I'm like, there's no way I can drop anything. I was like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But there's some shit that I just don't even.
But maybe the pre-orders.
Yeah, but still, it's like. It is a whole like, you know.
More, it's a lot.
For me, like as a consumer. I don't care if it's pre-order. I'll buy it. If I like it, I'm gonna buy it. I don't.
But you already know part of the brand, right?
But like even before though, like I've never. When people see pre-order, they're like, I don't want to wait. Like, no, if I like it enough, I'll wait. And like the best part about it is like sometimes I order so much stuff I forget.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's
I was
just
gonna. I was gonna.
Oh hell yeah!
I was gonna
like,
say that. So I feel like you buying into the whole fitted thing. Like I feel like you get a lot of shipments. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll just fall into the one day you're just gonna like show up and to your house and be like, oh shit, I got a fucking package. You know.
Yeah, and so like as a on the business side, I mean, I feel like all of us would prefer to have ready to ship.
Yeah.
But I feel like yesterday's design, like it's that was so like that's such a good one. Like that's worth the pre-order. That's worth the wait, and it really showed.
Yeah.
It really
I
showed.
think you can probably talk to us. Like we've built that trust with our customers too. Like they know that we're good for it. You know, like.
Yeah, because there's other brands that are like.
And then too, it's like people gotta understand, like y'all are gonna wait 8-9 weeks for Travis Scott to send you a shirt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you order something, you're gonna wait 3 months for that to come in, for a gilding. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever comes in. You know? Yeah. I mean, he does do. I've never bought anything from his store, but any celebrity, you know, they all do pre-order because you know they're not gonna make freaking 10,000 shirts and like not know who's gonna buy it. You know?
Yeah.
So you know, it's just
so I like both. I think both are, you know. It's got to be to do a pre-order. It's got to be worth it. I feel like, like I'm gonna just be real. Like we're not gonna put this on pre-order. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
if we can make them, we'll do.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
But I do think maybe like if you're just starting out as a brand, try the pre-order. But also know like if you don't come through and you don't know your stuff about how long it's gonna take, that might be your last run because they're not gonna buy from you going forward. You mess up once, that's it. And I'm proud to say that maybe we've probably messed up 4 orders in like the past 5 years. Like we try to like really do things right from a business standpoint.
It pisses me off. I don't like to mess up like or when you get a shirt that's you know
kind of like
and we always try to make it right too. So like we've had orders where like we'll like send somebody one of the 2 pins they ordered and we'll just send them like or like I think the last one we had was we sent him 2 of the same ones and he ordered 2 different ones and so we just sent him a 3rd one. Yeah, instead of like asking for a return or whatever.
And he actually asked like, how can I return it?
Yeah,
like no, bro, keep it.
Like that's building that confidence with your customers, retaining.
And that was all through email. It was very professional. It was all through email.
Yeah.
Have y'all gotten like any disputes like on the website or anything?
No, never. Thankfully, I've gotten on my personal stuff, but that was like on some because I also do photography, and so I had a dispute before, and I was like, man, what the heck? But I mean, it is what it is.
You had a dispute for a service you did.
Yeah, but it was. I don't want to talk too much on it.
No,
I had a dispute for a design shit too.
Yeah.
For it, really?
Yeah, it was
I had
annoying,
a dispute
bro.
for something.
I won that whole.
I did the collabs with. Have you ever done collabs?
We have not.
No,
we have
never.
not. But we are definitely open to it.
So we're working on some stuff right now, but we haven't done an official collab. It's hard.
It's more complicated.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But you put collab on anything.
Stay away from them.
Yeah. You put collab on anything though, and it's gonna boost your sales for sure.
Because you get
you get 2 communities.
Two communities.
That's our big thing. Like we're building a community of people. Like we want to go to these events and we see the same people and we're like they're like talking, they're in dialogue, like you know what I'm saying. So
it's true. I did when I started AI Mask, like I did basically everything. Like but I started in January and up until May. I would do pre-orders, but see, I would drop every month. You know, it was like 4 designs. But so then I would order through his wholesale, like you know, and get all my stuff. And it was vinyl or embroidery because we didn't have the screen print thing already. I mean, we didn't have it yet, so I would do everything. I would order, and then I would get it, do everything in 1 week, like myself, and then
and then grinding, huh?
Yeah, it was, and I feel like literally the first 5 months, like I was dropping monthly, right, babe? And the sales were good, like it was really good. Each month I had somebody I collabed with though. It was a girl business owner. So
which is dope, man. Yeah, it's dope.
So that's the best way to do it.
If you can get it,
and then that's when I had my first dispute. It was over like something that I had collabed with. So the girl who bought didn't even buy a shirt, which to me it was fine because I didn't. And you know what the collabs?
So your collabs are like. You put their product on your website pretty much.
Yeah, so the person would, so the first, let's say, earrings, my friend, she does earrings, like the clay earrings. So she would design earrings specifically for my drop, and she would only sell those earrings for my drop. Like she couldn't like put it on like anything else. It was just that, right? So then I'm just
and then that money would go to her.
But I wouldn't keep any of the money, you know, because to me it was just like I don't care for the money. I just want AI Mask to be out there, you know. So she would keep 100% of the money. I would keep maybe $1 to pay the fees on my website, and that's it. So then I got my first dispute over an item that wasn't even mine. And then they charged me back like an additional $25. It was over like maybe, I think it was like a total of like $50, you know, for something that had nothing to do with me, but it was on my website. So I ended up disputing it. I sent like, you know, everything, and then I got the money or whatever. But the person that disputed was never even following me, but she bought something from a collab. You know, so
which that's where I feel like it wasn't like a thought process where you're like, okay, what if somebody disputes and it's not my item, but it's on my website?
And see, the thing is,
you know?
the whole time I was telling the person I collab, like, hey, just to let you know, like, whatever, because I had already sent her all the money, you know, and then I'm getting charged $50 for something that had nothing to do with me, and then the girl just left me on red. The person I collabed with. But I told her, I'm like, I don't even care. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah. Like, at first I was upset. I was like, damn, like, I'm losing money, like, over something that is not mine. But since I decided to collab, you know, then I'm just going to take the L for it. And he would tell me, just take the L. And I'm like, hell no, I'm going to dispute this shit.
I got you. You got to try it.
Yeah. But it's a lesson learned, right?
For sure, because now I feel like I enjoy doing everything for AI Mask by myself. You know, maybe a collab in the future with Roland.
So, with that being said, real quick, we're going to go on a quick break.
Oh, I want to drink on that hoe. Yeah, I'm a drinker, bro.
Yeah. Sir, it's 10 a.m.
Yeah, they don't know what time it is. They don't know what time it is. I would have been down. But
I forgot I was going to tell you, do I want to take a shot?
I'm never going to say no.
Good.
You going to take a shot?
Take it with him, babe.
I'll take a shot.
Did I take medicine this morning? I'll take one with y'all. I took Broncolene. That shouldn't be too bad. We have 1800 or Don Julio?
Don Julio. We have...
Don Julio, babe? What
Don Julio. Hornitos.
Probably... I'll do 1800. Whatever you like. You pick.
I like 1800. We have the silver, and then we have the...
Reposado.
Reposado. Yeah, but when I had seen that, you're like, we're not gonna drink anymore on the podcast. I didn't realize y'all was getting that lit on podcast.
You know what though? Like, I don't know if you saw Tanks.
They said that they got super drunk on one podcast.
I don't know if y'all seen Tanks, but man, y'all take one.
You're not drinking.
I'm good. Yeah.
So Tanks podcast.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, well that one's fucking long. That one's super, super long. So we did it. He brought us the Don Julio, and he was like, here or whatever. All right, okay, we took, but he was pouring our shots, and he was like filling it all the way up, and I'm just like, bro, God. Every break a shot, and we were drinking beer, and then honestly, that podcast, I was so. He didn't even know, but towards the very end, I was super drunk. I was like, super drunk. And I'm like, oh my God, did I say anything stupid?
Because I know when I first started out, y'all always had like a Michelob or a beer.
Yeah.
I was like, that's live though. I like that.
Yeah. So whenever we do morning ones, we'll have like an energy drink. And we're like, oh, do y'all want one? You know, whatever.
So we'll level out right now.
But,
podcast is still going, so.
I was recording already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then, I was like, man, did I say anything stupid? And he's like, no, why? I'm like, I was fucked up. And he's like, you were? And I'm like, yeah, I was hungover the next day. That's how drunk I was. Like,
yeah, that shit was crazy.
I had to watch that one, I normally watch halfway or something, but I was just like, man, let me make sure I didn't say nothing stupid, like on this podcast.
All right.
Cheers.
Take a shot of water with y'all, man.
Success.
Wow, you really took a shot of water.
Yeah, I had to. Can't look just like this.
So
good.
Yeah. So now that we took a shot, I'd like to say thank y'all for having us.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. For real.
We're so glad y'all came.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate y'all for asking, man.
It meant a lot to us for sure.
Yeah, I was excited. I ain't gonna lie.
Cause he put me on the podcast and I watched it and then I saw like the ones y'all had that were viral and stuff and I was like, man, I hope one day they get asked.
But this is like, I love this. Like, podcasts are dope, bro. Like, I like watching them and to be on one and just chop it up, you know, it's just natural. Like you said, it's not an interview. Like you're just getting to know each other.
There's conversation.
It's cool though because like I feel like I've known you, right? But I feel like I never actually sat down and had like a full conversation.
Basically, that's what I was telling. While we were waiting on y'all, he was like, so how do you know them or what? And I was like, well, I met them through Daniel and Dree.
Shout out Daniel
and Dree, Andy as well. And I just explained to him that we used to party back at Daniel's house.
Yeah, bro. Party house, bro.
Party house.
Your brother actually, he follows me on TikTok, and he was on my live, and he was like, Roland's brother. His username was Lego.
Yeah,
Lego,
Lego, yeah.
And I
Shout
was
out
like,
Lego.
oh, then you must know me from partying at the Hernandez house. He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there when Roland? Who broke the window?
It
I was not
Daniel.
there for that, but they always tell me. I think I had left or I didn't
Yeah, it was
make it.
Daniel. It was
Oh
Daniel.
yeah, it was. They were.
were a dance
They
battle.
were having a break dance
Oh
battle.
Daniel broke his window.
And Daniel. Oh my god, that was so fucking funny.
But yeah, like real quick, like I said, thank y'all, and we did bring y'all some.
Thank
Little-
you.
appreciate
You can
y'all.
show it,
Let's
baby.
see.
Yeah, it's a
Came with a little
little
something.
93 bag, and then go ahead and open
Pretty
it
dope.
up.
Pretty dope. Let's see what we got in here.
Yeah.
Taking that back to Mexico.
So,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
All right, we got.
Okay, a little
That's
side
Little-
bag.
little
Y'all gonna
to-go
have to
bag.
fight over it, though,
Yeah.
okay?
She already got it.
She's so quick to grab it. And then my boy,
We got
finally,
some stickers,
Yeah, for sure.
and then we got some
my personal favorites.
Yes.
pins.
Texas
Okay, so
pig.
definitely this is for
Yes,
me.
sir.
Those are for you.
Yeah, put them on.
'cause she-
Oh, the green one goes with that hat
Yeah.
right now.
Let me try the green one right now. Yeah, cause she was I know it's not a fitted, you know,
Nah,
but
Nah, it's all
people,
good.
people wear them on truckers, fitteds. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as you're wearing them, I don't care what it's
Yeah.
on. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and then she cause you saw which one.
The one that has the little.
Y'all dropped the star one.
Yeah, the little spark, the
little
spark
sparkles.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you're gonna wear it?
No, I was gonna wear it
Yeah, you
too.
should've.
Man, that
But-
was like my favorite.
Yeah,
That
and we
shit, like,
we
It's
haven't.
like it's like the North Star, right?
Huh?
basically.
Well, so it's
Explain.
I
It's
don't
really
know.
like it's
Really
really
what
just
it's supposed to be-
sparks, like
what
it's
it's
No,
supposed
oh,
to be-
okay.
yeah.
'cause
it's supposed to be like you know like the shine on like something sparkly, and so we wanted to like add it as like a juxtaposition on like logos of teams. So you put it on top, and it's like your team's shining, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we
That's
dropped it at the
dope.
same time that we dropped a T that was like the spark of imagination. so
Oh,
we kind of
okay.
try to play it together, and so we did a T.
Perfect.
Cool, that's
Ooh,
cool.
Perfect.
that's crazy.
And good thing you put it on
Yeah.
that side too.
Loki is my first pin ever.
Hey.
I'm glad, bro. I'm glad.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
Appreciate y'all. Yo, appreciate the gifts, man.
No, man,
Thank
of
y'all.
course, man. No, thank you guys, man.
We'll put the sticker up there with the other ones.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be tight.
I have to put the other ones up there.
Shit,
too.
I have a whole other one in my office.
that's
Dude, that
true.
thing
He
is
does.
that thing is
Glistening in that light.
listening. Yeah. That's the candy paint collection, bro. That's what we called it.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
that's
Yeah.
that candy.
Thank y'all so
fuck with it.
much.
For sure, for sure.
But I wanted to talk about like the pre-order stuff still a little bit. How do y'all feel? Do y'all drop? All right, let's say for this one that y'all just did a pre-order. Are y'all planning to drop anything before those come in?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, we have a bunch of ideas. So right now, one of the main ones that we have this one was actually created 2 years ago. We just never got around to. I think at the time, like it didn't make the cut, or like for money reasons, we didn't order that one. But we've been holding on to it for a while.
you're talking
The
about
nothing comes from nothing. Yeah. So we
And people
did that
love
collection.
that, bro.
Yeah.
That nothing comes from nothing. I don't know if y'all seen that collection that we did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
People just love that.
yeah, I mean that
Oh,
slogan has really resonated with us because like you know if you're not working, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been like a motivating thing for us. And so it's a we don't know if it's gonna be a tee or a hoodie or what. We'd like to do a hoodie because it's gonna get cold by the time we get it.
Do crew
But-
necks.
Yeah, see, I like the one she's got on.
likes
Like,
crew
I
necks.
love
I
crew
love
necks. It's like
Yeah.
my thing. I love them.
Yeah, and I think the only reason we haven't really is just because I mean I don't know we like hoodies, but I mean maybe
I like crew
That's
necks.
it.
I
Yeah.
like crew necks.
You like crew
Yeah, I'm a
necks?
crew neck
I
guy.
feel like honestly
because it's like
a style.
it's not too cold
Yeah,
though
it is.
either here. Like
Yeah.
I never wear
Hoodies.
hoodies or again if I do I just take them
But
immediately
you know, I think
off.
it's also like crew necks is something you can like easily
Keep on. I feel like you can keep it on too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
a
true.
hoodie
I
or a
feel like-
jacket, I'm ready to take it off.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been a hoodie guy, but recently I've been like more of a crew neck.
No,
But I think it plays into like the whole vintage thing.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of vintage crew necks out there.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
it's crew
And
necks,
you know
yeah.
too, like I feel like as a girl, like I literally wear crew necks like the whole year. I could be wearing shorts with a crew neck or something. You know,
I think
that.
I like crew necks too, but I think the reason I did hoodies is because when I was like breaking back in the day, I would just throw the hoodie on the windmills, you know,
that
like
makes sense.
Hoodies is huge in breakdancing.
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
they
it's
are,
extra
they are,
protection,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
and so
that is true.
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself, man, because
And
there's
Hey,
no
Gus was
helmets
cold.
or
I'm
anything.
gonna just shout him out. Gus was cold at breakdancing, bro.
Bro.
So
He feels like
wait,
like
did
fully
you do,
retired from
Did
it.
you do
Oh,
the, like
shit.
the b-boy or
Yeah, like
break dance,
b-boy.
like the
Yeah.
break what is it
Breaking or what?
called? No, the Adrian thing. What's it called? Like break free. Break free.
Oh,
Break
break free.
free.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
do a part
so,
of that?
Well, I mean,
Or is
I
it
started going there.
different?
I mean, I started going there. I think it was like my senior year, and then going into college, I went to Break Free, and then I actually worked at Break Free like a couple years back. And but I mean, I started breaking there, and I mean, I started breaking in high school with like a hip hop team.
So do you know flip?
Flip.
Because he did breakdancing too, right? Unless it's like
he says he knows.
He knows
Flip.
Adrian.
That sounds so familiar. I'm pretty sure I do.
Now he's a DJ right now.
His
It's
name's
DJ
Felipe
Flo.
Gallegos.
Oh wait, that's Flip. Yeah.
I think I may have been introduced to him through Adrian.
Oh, okay.
Which is Flo, right?
Yeah, he's Flo.
Yeah, I think that's how I met him. But I don't. I think it was like just a quick.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Do you know Guido?
Yeah. Me and him go back.
That's my brother-in-law.
That's your brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah.
I know him too. That's the one.
You know him too?
He used to be at U of H all the time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. He would go, so we would go from UPS. Then we would all like me. Me and him would ride together to work all the time, and we would go to U of H and practice at U of H because all the guys they would just leave it open there. So we'd all move the tables at the Starbucks and just start breaking there. And so
yeah, I actually know Guido too.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. He probably don't remember me.
I've known Guido for a long time too.
He's my brother-in-law, like my niece's dad.
Great guy, great, amazing guy. We used to chill with him. I remember like when we were really chilling with him when the Texans were good. So that's way back. But he would host like parties at his house and we'd go all eat barbecue and watch the games and stuff like that. But yeah, Guido's a great guy. And but yeah, I started breaking and then towards the last years of my breaking, I kept getting like lingering injuries in my neck and I was like, man, I could either like keep trying to break and maybe like not walk when I'm like old, or I could start trying to like build something else up. And that's when I got into it. And originally we started in 1993. And so
so how did y'all even come up with the name?
We have not talked about the name.
Yeah, we haven't talked anything about it.
That was a nice segue, bro.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
No, but
I was about to ask you to windmill on the table, but
maybe at the end closing.
I was so close to breaking like 2 days ago. I do photography, and so I was photographing this event, like an 8th grade kind of like event, and so like a dance section of it, and so but it was only guys, and so all the kids were like, they made a big circle, and there was like one little kid who was like shiny, he was breaking, he was like doing his thing. He was like an amateur, right? But like, and I was like, man, these kids don't know. If I go there right now, I'm gonna
shit down.
I'm gonna let him have his moment.
It's like that TikTok you seen where like nobody here knows I can break it.
Yeah, it's exactly what it'd be like. No, but I think so. 1993 started when I was in high school, and I used to do graffiti because I was like into breaking, and so breaking is like hip hop. It's like the music, the rap, the graffiti, the breaking, and then it's the DJing. So it was like 4 elements of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of do everything. I was doing like a little DJing, and then I was doing graffiti, but I would do 1993. That was like my tag, and so I was like tagging restrooms, like, doing the little stickers and like putting them everywhere. And so that stayed. And then later on, like when we finally decided the brand, I was like, man, we were trying to think of all these names and stuff like that. And then I was like, man, you know what I've never heard? Like a number being the brand name. And so we're like, you down to do it? And he was like, Jesse, who was the guy that started with me, he was like, I mean, I was born in 92, but I mean, let's do it. Right? Yeah. Or he was in 94. Yeah. He was like, I guess I was maybe conceived in 83. I don't know. And so, but we ended up doing it. And, we did start running into issues after a while.
What you
like,
brought up, right?
I mean, I really want to buy it, but I'm 96 or I'm 90, I'm 92, I'm 91 or whatever. And so it got into a whole bunch of issues, but we still kept doing it. You know, we told people like, you know, that's just the identity. That's not what the brand's about or whatever. And
we'll try to explain.
Yeah, y'all did use the name a lot, right? At first.
Y'all were using 93 on the shirts at first.
Yeah, we're putting
because that's when it was 1990, and that was when they were 1993. I wasn't even a part of it. Yeah. But I guess for me, just because I was such good friends with them, like the name never bothered me.
Are you 93?
No, I'm 94, and it never bothered me because like he's like, I guess because I've always known like about clothes and stuff. It's like that's just the name, like, and the designs that were dropping, I had 93 on it, but it wasn't like I don't need to be the 93 to wear. Like,
we tried to keep it was very
clean,
distinct from it.
Because of whichever dropping back then, it was still designs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just 93 was on there, but that's just
it was just like the brand name. You know what I mean?
I hit the mic, but like it was never no issues with me, and I don't know if it was because I was cool with them, but like I said, I always buy what I like, so I liked what y'all were dropping, so. But people would always come to me because they knew I was cool with them. Like, why 1993? Like, and I would tell them straight up, even when they weren't around. Like, it was just honest, and I wasn't even a part of the brand. Like, I was like,
he's always been a hype man. For sure.
I was like, bro, that's just the name. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be born in '93 to buy this clothes. The design has nothing to do with 1993. You know what I mean? Like,
But it definitely was like a weird conversation all the time. And I think when we started, we didn't really know how to speak about the brand. We just knew that we wanted to make shirts, and we picked a name and we did it, right? And then years later, we had our rebrand, which is like, I think shortly before Miguel came on. And so we rebranded as the 90Three, which is, I know it's not much like a difference, but for us, it was like the 90 and then 3. And so what we ended up doing is kind of creating
like spelled out 90 and then
90 is 90 and then 3 is spelled out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so it kind of like takes away the 1993, making it a year, and so it's like the 93.
Yeah,
so technically now it really has nothing to do with the year.
Yeah, and but the way we did it is we worked with a designer. His name is Frank Hicks, and he basically helped us kind of put the idea together. We had kind of what we wanted to do, and he kind of like put it all together, because I'm not a graphic designer, you know. I mean, I do the designs, but I'm not a graphic designer in the sense of like I can do this design and put a story behind it and like kind of like, you know, and present it in a way, you know. And so that's why I brought him in to help me out, and we paid him or whatever. And but basically we took the design and we found this kind of like formula. It's like 390-degree angles, and it's the core of the Earth. That's how they measure the core of the Earth, like the space between planets. And so we wanted something that was going to represent substance. And so that formula that measures a core, which is like the core of a being or a planet, and that's substance, you know. And so we wanted to be a brand that provided substance and not just like something that's like, I guess, like an aesthetic, you know. So from that we did ideas like we did what is it, aesthetics one, what's that called?
Concepts over aesthetics.
Yeah, concepts over aesthetics. And so basically that's kind of like the reason we did 93. And so that formula is the same, that same logo that we have, and then it's also like it's two designs, because it's a flat logo because we cut it, but if you look at it, it's also like a 3-dimensional logo.
Yeah, in motion. So like really, if you look at the pin right now, it's the screws. We turned the logo into screws, but if you look at it, it's 390-degree right angles in motion.
Yeah. Okay.
The inside is the 90 degrees, and so
I can see the one on the side.
Yeah, and so we definitely like we all came together and like, all right, we need to figure this out, because people are thinking it's a year and it's a problem, and so we reformatted it. And then even at that, like, it was still hard for us.
That's when they really caught my attention, is when they did change it.
Yeah, because I saw that post, and then y'all had like a globe and everything, and it was like kind of outlining like the logo and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, like,
appreciate that. Actually, I remember a few people reached out about it, like, that's dope, and you were one of them.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it's just from the learning process, and so we had like an idea of what we wanted to do, but it wasn't structured. And so I think with the help of a graphic designer, somebody that kind of knows how to like tell a brand story, he kind of pieced it together, broke it down, and so that way we learned how to talk about the brand. Because for the longest, people were like, so what's your brand about? We didn't know what to talk about, you know.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, and then I think a year later we started implementing the 4 creative use, and so
which is like our slogan.
Which is our slogan.
I
so
immediately say, like, you know, as Nike just do it. It's like the 93
for creative use. You know, and so
go ahead.
No, I was just saying that like this year too, a new catchphrase that we've implemented is stories by creatives. Is it right? Yeah, stories by creatives. And so the reason we made 2 accounts now is like the 4 creative use one is just the clothes and product releases and information, and we're trying to make our real account, the 93, just stories of creatives. So
like people wearing our stuff,
like people just happen to be wearing our stuff while we're telling their story. And so we've started to do a couple projects kind of like
I think I seen that y'all posted one, right?
So we did one with a photographer.
Was the barber one posted?
The dancer one.
The dancer one.
So that one was made by Jesse. The one that I worked with was a photographer.
So shout out Jesse on that, because he works on that.
Yeah, it was a photographer in Dallas, and I think his Lil Chop on Instagram. But he photographs like lowriders in San Francisco, no, San Antonio or Dallas. I think it's Dallas Fort Worth area. And basically we connected with him. It's like, hey, we have this pin, you think you can photograph it, but also I have a couple questions for you. If you can answer them, and I'll rewrite it and just tell your story, you know. And so that's kind of the direction we want to take, is kind of taking influence from Nike and like Nike.
And that's gonna be for where you're gonna post that at.
The 93.
So the 93.
The 93.
Yeah. And so it's slow.
It's hard.
It's also like finding time to do it.
It's hard to make a new account and get people to follow the second account like what too, but it's slow. Like,
it's slow. It's gonna take a process.
It's a process.
And I know like we kind of got into it a little bit, because like, bro, why are we gonna do another? Yeah, like, we have this and it's growing.
That's
it's
good.
Like,
that's a good thing to talk about.
But it's like
we butt heads all the time. All the time. Me and him, out of the 4 of us, it's me and him.
Yeah.
Go
when y'all when they're arguing, he's like, man, why did I bring him on?
This fool don't know. Nah, but no, I mean, but we never have any like every argument that we have is like for the better. We both care about the brand, and so it's like.
But it's always good in a way because it's just like it's two minds. Yeah, you can't be a yes man. Yeah, like, you can't.
Yeah. I would rather somebody be like extremely rude to me than to be a yes man and tell me like, yeah. That's
I know. I feel like that's why like people probably, I don't know, like family more than anything. Like we're not like yes man. Like we're not. So I feel like when family specifically tell us something, we're just like no. No, right?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like my brothers, I would say like they're yes men to my parents, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're like, if my mom says this and that, or I think y'all should do this, and then my brothers are like, all right, you know? But I'm the one that's like,
you're the rebel.
Yeah, I feel like my mom and my dad probably look at me sometimes and just like, oh my God, like it's because he never agrees with us, you know? Yeah, exactly, dude. Like,
and then him being like that means his parents come to me and tell me, and I'm just like, no. Like, or sometimes she'll like, and then we'll kind of go at it, and I'm like, well, why don't you just ask him? Like, he's gonna tell you no. Like,
but like you said, I think that's a reason why I think you wanted me on the brand, like, because you know that I'm always keep it real. Like,
and that's good though, because as a person, you wanna like speak your mind, like, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, my wife too. She'll tell me, "No, that's why."
Oh
Nah, get back to the drawing board. It's on that one.
When she tells him, I'm just like.
Yeah, everybody's like quiet.
But it's really me and her that really get on him.
They do. I mean, Jesse, I love Jesse, but he's such a positive person that he's willing to make everything work, you know?
Yeah.
And so,
very positive.
And so it was very hard sometimes to make decisions with Jesse because he's just so positive. He's like the most positive guy I know, honestly.
No,
he'll make anything positive, and like that's just the person he is. He'll, you know, he can make people like smile in like the worst situations, you know.
Great person.
And but my only our issue with the way we're working is like, you know, he likes the ideas, but it's like I also need some feedback, and so when we brought in Miguel and Maeve, like then it was like the realization is like, all right, I do need to keep working on my craft because not everything is fire, you know. As a designer, you think, man, this is gonna hit. But you got to ask people to get that feedback. And then ultimately, when you put it out there, people buying it or not, that's the true, like, feedback, you know? Yeah. Are they going to invest their money? Like, you know, people, you know, work hard for their money. So.
And do you feel like your wife is your biggest critic or no?
I think she wants the best for me as far as like when I'm doing stuff, and she wants to be realistic and make me grow.
She is, so I think she's damn good at it.
But she's gonna very much critique.
Well, not not in a bad way, but she's like, because I feel like I'm his biggest critic. Like,
I'm there a lot too, so I see it. Like she is, bro.
I personally think I'm my biggest critic.
For sure. I think at the end of the day, I'm the same way though. I'm the same way. Yeah. My biggest enemy is me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's with any creative, you know? Yeah. Like, I think you have that too. Like, you'll see something and you're like, man, I don't know. And sometimes you just gotta put that out there and let it do what it does and see what happens. And
so that's kind of like, in that sense, though, I can be that for him. I'm always like, bro, just drop it. Like, I promise you, like, I was a consumer first before I joined. Like, this is hard. That's
true.
Release it. You know what I mean? And then, boom, it does well.
I mean,
and
like,
I look at him, I'm like,
I told you that was a 50 piece.
So that's the Texas pin. The Texas pin. So, like, that's good to talk about, too. Like, because, so I've been doing the fitted thing, like, 2 years now. Like, seriously. Mm-hmm. And then, like, within, like, the last... This year, I've been really like, I would admit, bro, it's an addiction. Like it really is. Like, I catch myself like, bro, stop it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Sometimes you'll show up with like on your TikTok, and I'm like, man, bro, like these hats are like not cheap.
They're not cheap, bro. So, they're not cheap. But even retail. So it's like it's literally like the shoe game, if not worse, because these things retail $50, right? But so for those that don't know, like hats are reselling for as much as shoes. Like there's hats we're going from 200 to 800.
They got a whole capsule right now, right?
So which next weekend, bro, you should come. You down?
I'll probably show up.
Yeah, bro, like we should go, bro. I'm trying to get Daniel to go. We're gonna go. I mean, it's fun. It's at a bar. You ever Texas Tailgate?
No.
It's like indoor and outdoors. It's fun, bro. Like at the end of the day, like.
But hold him accountable because he's always like, I'm busy.
It's because I don't go out a lot, bro. I don't go to a lot.
But it's like it's from 12 to 6. Like it's.
I'm always telling him just go, but he's like, I gotta work, and I'm just like, just go.
I mean, my girl's gonna come too. I think.
Yeah. So, it's Saturday, Sunday, or just.
No, it's on Sunday. From
Sunday?
12 to 6. Okay. I might get there around 2 to 3.
Okay.
I'll see what's
just text him.
I'm gonna text you, bro. He don't want to go.
I want to go because I feel like it's important to show face, you know, just go and stuff.
And you meet a lot of people. Do that again. I want to do that again, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't necessarily want to pop up. I'd rather just do that.
Yeah. And honestly, the hat community is so supportive. It's crazy.
It's so
it's nothing like I've ever seen before.
Shout out HTX Fitted on
yes,
Facebook.
for sure.
On Facebook.
I've never seen such a supportive group of people, man.
Members.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, go back into the
story.
So
what I was saying, so we kind of grew as a brand too when I started getting into fitted. So like I said, I've been collecting almost 2 years, and like I said, it's an addiction, bro. Like it really is, bro. Like, it's because like I wish I could explain.
This man needs some help.
Like I do, like it, like it's bad. No, like
line under.
Because this is the first time where I can admit, like, I know I need to chill, but it's like I can't. Like I literally can't, bro. I'm like, I'm gonna chill, and then so. What people don't know is like there's several. I follow hundreds of pages on Instagram, bro, and they're dropping daily. It's not like they're dropping something's dropping every single day.
Yeah.
And it's like I see this like, nah, I'm gonna chill. Something's better gonna drop out, chill.
Yeah.
And that something better is the next day. I'm like, damn, I waited a day, like I gotta buy it. But like now it's getting to the point where like, cause like I got a house now. Me and my girl got a house. Mm-hmm. I got bills, like real bills now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but now it's like when I'm not gonna lie. When I got my house, I was so worried about that. I wasn't gonna be able to afford hats no more. I was so sad. I was like, man, it's like I'm done with hats.
It's the end of it.
What I have is what I have. But I always find a way. So like now,
you gotta make.
Because I get attached to my stuff. But now it's like I started flipping my hats. Like I look at my collection. I'm like, man, I haven't worn that one. Pull it out. I haven't worn this one. Pull it out. Boom. I sold those 2 hats for like $90 a piece. And so like boom, I got 180, and now this 180 is for new hats. So that 180, I bought like two or three more hats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I just keep doing that. So it's like
well, at least you're making it. Yeah.
So people think that like I'm just spending my money on hats, but like, dude, I'm always gonna make sure I'm good. I'm not out here like. My gas just turned off because I didn't because I bought a hat. Yeah.
You're responsible.
But I'm real responsible, bro. Like, I mean, could my money go to better things? Yeah, but this is what I love, bro. Like right now, like I started with shoes.
Well, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, like it's,
at least it's not like.
And it's like I told somebody on TikTok before, because somebody was hating about like that I'm wasting my money. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I got like $4,000 in hats. If I really wanted to sell them all, I can make like $4,000 total, you know, easily. I do the math all the time. Like, if things really got bad, like, I'm good. I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
different when it holds value, you know. And
yeah, like
with sneakers, like,
I mean, I got this one for 80, and I feel like even worn, I can sell it for 100, like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's willing to pay, they're gonna pay the 100. Like, that's what we talk about all the time.
You can find.
So, are you willing to give it up though?
This one?
Yeah.
No, not this one.
Not right now.
Not right now. This is my first time wearing it. I actually curved it for this podcast. Yeah, and I made a TikTok on it, so it'll be.
Did it post?
No, so that's another one. I posted. I posted my outfit today.
Oh.
But I made a video on curving it, so that's gonna be up later. That's probably tomorrow.
Maybe we need to connect him with Luke.
With Luke?
Yeah, because Luke sells nothing but like.
But his is vintage hats and like a bunch of snapbacks. But like, all right, real quick on the fitted thing.
I
all right.
hella digressed. So so what I was saying, whenever the fit, when I started getting into fitteds, I started seeing the pins. So that's what we're talking about. People were like on that Facebook group, HTX Fitted. I kept telling him, I had straight up said I didn't think to make a pin with the brand. I don't know why I wasn't even thinking like that. I came to him like, hey, can you help me design a pin? I want to sell a pin. Like, I want to make my own pin. And he was like, well, why don't we just do it? Like, why don't we just make a pin with the brand? And I wasn't even on like no selfish stuff. I was like, I just didn't even think he would want to do a pin. So I was like, hey, help me make a pin. I want to sell a pin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we talked about it, and I think at first I was like, nah, I don't really see it.
And selling. So I kept. He wasn't on the group at the time. Like, this is a big one. Like, it's the biggest group. It's the Houston Facebook group for reselling, buying, trading, or you can just post your fitted of the day. And so I was like, dude, like, people are constantly asking for pins. People are constantly posting their mock-ups for pins. I'm like, it's a whole thing now. Yeah. And people are reselling pins too. And so I was like, bro, let's make, it's crazy. It's like the shoe game, bro, if not worse, like I said. So I was like, let's make a pin, bro. And I was like, this was the one he has on is the first one that I wanted.
Let me see the other one.
So it was the 45 South because I'm 45 South. Like, I want to get that tatted on me one day. I don't have no tats. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just scared. But the moment I'm not scared, 45 South is getting tatted on me somewhere. All my family laughs at me and they're like, why would you do that? I'm gonna do it.
It's important.
So I was like, that's the first pin I wanted to do, and we did it, and it did very well. It did very well.
I don't think that was our first one. Was it?
That was our
Texas,
first.
the
No,
purple one.
that one was our first pin. No, you're right.
It was the purple one.
It was a purple one.
Because we had just dropped our screwed up Texas t-shirt. And like
and so
Miguel like drew it on a freaking
on
a note paper, and he's like, "This is kind of what I'm thinking. Like we do our logo, but we put screws." And I was like, "What? How are we gonna do that? Like I barely do graphic design, you know."
So
like
I drew it on like literally like a piece of paper. Actually, my little brother drew it.
Yeah, he drew it, and then he sent it to me. I was like, "Okay, well, I could try to figure out how to do it on there, or I can literally get some screws that I have in the garage, put them in the shape, and take a picture of it, and make that work."
That was,
and that's how we did it. We took a picture of it on my kitchen counter, and then I took a picture of it, and then I put it on Photoshop and took out the background. And then
so I kept
we
bugging
made it on the shirt
because he still was not for the pin. He still wasn't convinced. I'm like, come on, bro, like let's do the screws, let's do the Texas behind it. And then he's like, and I was at his house, so it's always better when we're together, bro. Because like over the phone or on Google Meet it's just not gonna happen.
He might be chilling.
So
you might be
chilling. Like, come on, man. And so he pulls out his iPad and starts drawing it. I'm like, that's it. That's it.
And like, so I did it on the iPad first, and then I put it on Illustrator, and I drew it out. I acted like, I don't know. I think I just drew it literally on Illustrator, and then we had the concept of this one. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. And so I put it on Illustrator, and I'm
you have the OG one on?
No, this is the black one. This is the black one. Okay. But the OG one was the purple one, and we wanted to kind of be like a part two of like this T-shirt. And so I was like, man, I guess whatever. You know what I'm saying? We don't really do it good on accessories. I was like, let's try it, whatever.
Let's try it. Tell them, Gus. I'll let you tell them. So we dropped it. I shared it on the group.
We shared it on the group, and started getting a couple of likes, and people were liking it, and we had 75 orders by the end of the day.
Yeah, in one day, and we only had 100 pins.
Yeah.
So we sold out the next day. In 2 days.
Yeah, the next day we sold out.
And I was like,
and so I'm like, so like that feeling of like dun, 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 coming in throughout a whole day, and I'm just like freaking. I'm like, what?
He couldn't believe it. And me though, I was like, I told you.
Yeah.
It wasn't even no cocky. It was like, because I'm in the fitted game. I know pins are selling.
He's like, I'm a consumer.
Yeah. People love Houston. Like we know how there's no other people like Houston. Like people support Houston. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like people.
It's Houston.
Yeah.
I think
nobody supports a city like Houston.
Yeah.
So it was just like, bro, it's so like candy. It was insane. Like it really was.
But I think my reservations at first too were because I didn't want to make Houston clothing.
For sure.
So this is a topic I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to make anything that was Houston at the time. So. Like, I didn't want to. I didn't want to get into it because I just felt like, my goal is for this brand to be bigger than Houston.
Same.
Absolutely. But I think in retrospect, looking back now, it's like I was trying to fly before I could run. So you got to get your city behind you before you can get anybody else. Because if you don't have that base, it's gonna be so much harder. And so I was like, what?
The scrutiny was like,
and that's why I say I had to humble myself because I had to be like, you know what? He knows something that I don't know, and let's try it. And it ended up doing. And pins have been way more successful than any of our t-shirts have. Yeah, and like over the past year and a half, we've sold way more in pins than we've ever sold in t-shirts.
And y'all order them like in bulk, obviously.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are the profit margins good on that? Like
crazy,
for real?
Yes. Crazy.
Make a pin. I'm
yeah. The thing
everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it.
But I think also it's like we didn't just make a pin and tell people, hey, cop a pin, show the mock-up that they give you or whatever. We photographed it. We told stories. Like to me,
we already had a lot of the guys that make pins, and it's like not being mean or anything, but they only make pins. Like they just started making it because it's so easy to make a pin. You know what I'm saying? So we were like, well, we have a whole business. We
have a foundation of it.
We treated the pin just like a shirt. We had a photo shoot for it.
Story.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? And that we were the first to do that for sure.
I think so. Yeah,
we were.
Well, besides like Hat Club, of course.
Well, but I'm saying like the local. Like,
local for sure.
Yeah, we made it like a whole like release, like you know what I'm saying, on the website. Like I said, photo shoot for it. You know what I'm saying?
And trying to tell a story.
We treat it just like anything else. The pin.
Yeah. And I think that's what kind of set us apart, and and I think we're still like new to the pin game compared to some of the other people that do it.
No, for sure, because man, there's guys out there, bro, killing it in the pin game.
Killing it.
Like, shout out! I'm gonna shout out Texas Fitteds, man. Shout out Texas Fitteds, and he just copped from us. Starboy.
That meant a lot for sure.
Starboy, I think, is living off pins.
Yeah,
I really think he is. Like
he bought a Tesla off of pins. He
said he bought a Tesla off of
for real.
What the hell? Pins.
And his retail at 25.
Yeah.
And so like back to the reselling, his pins resell for like 50.
Yeah. And we sell ours at 15. So I mean, yeah, and we were kind of getting hold for a little bit, not hold, but we just didn't know what we were doing. You know, we were going through a middleman in the U.S. And a lot of these companies that make pins in the U.S., they're like middlemen. They're taking your order, mocking it up, and then sending it to a factory in China. Yeah. And so over like a year ago, I ended up starting to find factories in China that make it, and we ended up cutting it in half. Yeah. Well, we were already.
The so margin was already crazy. Through AliExpress?
Alibaba?
Yeah, you're right. Alibaba.
Yeah, I went through there. And, I mean, that in itself is hard. I mean, that's how we made our bags. That's how we made our pins. Like, it's tough because you damn near have to like baby them through it. Yeah. Because they do know English, but it's like there's so many things that get lost in interpretation.
And you have to make sure it's like legit. Like you have to like do your research. Because I've tried to look into it, but I'm so intimidated by so much that's going on. Like
even now though, my brother said he's he probably knows more about Alibaba and all that shit than I do because he orders a lot of stuff from over there. Yeah. He's always ordering.
Does he do samples or he just gets?
He does samples and then like. Yeah, like I'll design something for him and then like he'll be like, hey bro, I just put in a sample order or whatever, and then he'll wait like so much time. He'll get him and he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, they look cool, you know, whatever. And then now he has some shorts that he's gonna drop and they're sitting right there in my mom's kitchen. Yeah. And they're just there, you know, but he's just waiting on them. But from the time that I designed them to when he got them was like a good while, you know. Yeah, but he knows he like.
Our pins take a little while. They take about a month to get here.
But it's because you gotta look at it like. So I like to look at our competitors. That's like the big brands, right? And so they have teams of designers, and they design a year in advance. So they're ordering their stuff for the next year already with these companies and factories. So us, and that's what I told Miguel is like, whatever we're doing, we gotta be at least a quarter. We should be a year in advance, but at least a quarter, like for our design. So like the idea, the schedule for the shoot, like everything should already be ready, like 3 months in advance. So that way, when it gets there, when that drops, you already have your other stuff 3 months ahead. You know, because if you want to be something that's consistent, you have to be ahead of the game. Yeah. You know, and so like we ordered those pins and we ordered them in bulk. So we ordered like 8 or 9 different designs, and we had them ready throughout the whole year. And so. Yeah, I mean, pins have really been like what have helped us financially keep the brand going.
Yeah, it's crazy to say, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm proud of it.
Yeah. I mean, Miguel really came up on that, and you know, I mean, but I also think too, like if we didn't have the foundation for the brand, it wouldn't have been the same, you know. Yeah. But that's where everybody brings in their own strengths to the business, to the team, yeah.
So what about y'all's pop-ups, like?
So
How does that work for you?
So pop-ups to me are important because that's really a way to get to know the customer face to face. You know, we're an online only brand, and I think that it's so important to meet the people that are buying from you. You know, and that's rewarding for us and also them because they get to meet the people behind the brand. You know, it's very easy to see a website and be like, oh yeah, I'll support them, but it's like then they're gonna stop buying once they don't feel like appreciated. You know, that's I think customer retention is just as important as like getting new customers because you have to keep them engaged. And there's also like, so I look up to like Bobby Hundreds, who made the hundreds, and he says that there's like this relationship between the customer and the designer. It's like if they're spending their money on your stuff, then you also almost have that commitment to them that you're gonna keep pushing forward and make that brand big. So where it's like, you know, either that shirt gains value or the brand, and they feel like they were a part of the come up of it, you know?
No, yeah.
And so I think going and doing these pop-ups, you get to meet the people, and, you know, it's easy to see orders coming in or whatever, but if you're not meeting the people that are buying, it's like, I mean, we're community first. So, like, that's why it's so important for us. And, you know, we've done a couple, and it's always a crazy time because we see everybody. Like, everybody comes out. Like,
yeah. And then you get to see, like, people that don't know us at all. A lot of, especially this last pop-up at Post a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I think never heard of us. Almost all our sales were people we don't know. So, but for me, pop-ups, I like pop-ups because, especially early when we first started, like our first pop-up was at Los Primos. It was here in Pasadena, and that was like our first pop-up that I was a part of.
That was like
we did.
Yeah,
well.
And I think it was like I feel like people came to celebrate like that. You
so like that part of my life was like. All my friends, all my family.
Yeah, and that's who. It was crazy too because I know like it wasn't a huge pop up, and you know people were getting their sales and stuff, but we were just booming. Like I think that day we did like 3K, like just in shirts and everything, and like that for us was like we've never experienced that, and like you know people were coming and talk to us, people from high school, people like from around, also people that were there, and like we were just like like we were tired at the end of the day because we were just talking to people and having these conversations, and so
Also, like the good thing, early on, I was like, let's do pop-ups because I'm gonna talk my shit a little bit, but it was just like you run into like things that really frustrate you, and things that really frustrate me is that people, when you have a small business, they struggle buying online. Yeah. Let me buy it from you. How can I buy this? Yeah. And so I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that is so annoying, bro. Like it frustrates me. You know what I'm saying? Like it really does. Like, and it be my own friends, family. Like, let me just go get it. Yeah. Like, first of all, I don't even carry the stuff. So I even if I had to do it, I gotta go to his crib. Yeah. And bro, I'm busy. I work 2 jobs Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm always doing something. I'm always on the move. Yeah. So it's like, bro, and I kind of got into it with somebody. I'm not gonna say no names, but I said, bro, you're like the biggest online shopper I know, and you can't buy from me online. I checked them. Like
when it comes to your homie's brand,
like, you can't. Like, I gotta understand, and you know you're gonna get it. It's me, and if you don't, then we'll figure it out. And then I'll go take it to you. Something happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like pop-ups, and sometimes I would talk my shit like online, like. For those of you that don't like, I would like say it nicely, but like I was like, oh, we're having a pop-up. For those of you that don't like to buy online, come buy in person. Like I'm very straight up, bro. Like if you don't like to buy, well then we're here. This is where you can meet me today.
Yeah, you know save your shipping fee.
Yeah, like pull up on us. Spend your gas instead. I guess that's what you rather do. Because
what I tell them,
I can talk my shit, bro. Yeah, because I'm being nice right now.
What I tell them is that like it's just easier for me to keep track of everything if you just buy online.
Yeah, buy online. It gives me a check mark that I gotta put. Yeah, I sent it. Like
Yeah. No,
I'm way more likely to forget.
That's why pop-ups are good.
It's so funny though, because I hate paying for shipping too. I'm not gonna lie.
But sometimes like if you know like all right, like I just want the sale to go through there, even if like
even if I do
like my brother will buy from me off my site and I'll buy from him off his site, but we'll give each other like a code where we don't pay the shipping because when I see you I'll just give you the shit. But you know what, that works a lot too though, bro. Like when you say shit online, like it'll put pressure on people. Like if there's like a lot of y'all said y'all would buy whenever this drop comes out, whatever, and so we'll see, and they'll be like, oh shit, he's talking about me.
My biggest frustration when I first joined, same thing. That's another big frustration. It's like that's hard, bro. Like I'm a cop, and then they don't cop.
And I'm gonna just say right now though, like I've never bought from y'all, which like I'm going to, but it's just like it's not just y'all. Like I just don't buy a lot from different brands because I'm just so invested in mine, and so a lot of the money that like
the extra
money kind of goes into my other stuff, and sometimes I just
have a lot of business. So like for me, bro, like
but I will buy. Bro.
I'll keep
it.
Support. I get it, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Like you're one of those people that has never bothered me, like that you don't buy, and obviously like I do know that you haven't, but.
He knows his people.
Yeah, like, but I like it's like certain people I don't care because I know that we're in the same business. I know you got your own thing going on, and I feel you. I'm the same way. Like, so I've never taken offense to it at all. And plus, like to me, when you're like you like and comment and you share, that's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like you always comment, you always swipe up on my stories. And so I was like, well, I know he supports, you know what I'm saying? And then you asked us to be here today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's different ways to show support, you know what I mean? So, and I know who supports, like you said, I know my people. Like, there is people that don't buy all the time, but there's people that are always liking and sharing. It's like, okay, well, maybe they don't have the money or, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You liking and sharing, I mean,
it's a thing, though.
It goes a long way for me.
It's a thing, though, because even when I started my brand, like, I had friends and people that I didn't even think were gonna support, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it is good, and it's working. Yeah. But like I would always say, like if your family or friends don't feel like you have to buy, because And then I had one friend reach out like, "Hey, I'm so sorry I didn't buy. Like I just don't have the money." And I'm like, "Dude, don't worry about it. Like I know I sometimes don't have the money to support, so I'll just like you said, I'll share it or like whatever, Yeah. Or if for whatever reason, like it's like let's say lashes, right? I stopped doing my lashes, and then they'll have giveaways, and I feel like if I win, I'm probably just gonna give it to somebody who'll be like, oh, thank you, but I'm not doing that anymore. But my way of supporting is by sharing or liking or joining the giveaway or something.
I've always known that about you, bro. Like to me, you've always been a supporter. So
and I don't think I've never like expected any designer to buy from us, because I know it's like for me, like I don't buy a lot of other clothes because it's like I already make a crap load of clothes. I have a lot of clothes at home. Like I have a whole closet of just 93 stuff. Yeah. Like I try to save one. So I'm like, man, like, I don't like. That's where a conflict that I've had this year is like the idea of like putting more stuff out there when it doesn't need to be, you know. Like, so that's why I had an issue with like dropping every week. It's like we're making a bunch of clothes, and so like even recently, like in the future, we thought of like working with like people that do thrifting, because, you know, how do we like take the moral side of like more clothes into this planet when that's like one of the main things of like climate change, you know. And so it's like but yeah, I get it, man. Like we all,
and even for me though, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, for me, ever since in the last couple of years of being in a brand, I personally like to buy. I'm the opposite. I like to buy from only local now. Like, I rarely shop, because I used to be big on like, you know, like right out of high school, I used to like buy Diamond and Obey, you know, because that's what was big at the time.
That was big at the time.
So that was like my favorite brand for the longest. Now I don't mess with them at all. But now I only like to buy, like, all I wear is like I got 2 shirts from you now. From, you know, shout out Houston Astronauts, B Dollars and Mikey. I have a bunch of their stuff. I buy from Danny from Urban Assault. Now Exclusive Elements be dropping stuff.
It goes support
Premier Select drops their own clothing. You know, Throwed. I rather, like, most of my closet is all local brands. And that's what I rather wear, and especially because I already know how it fits, and I'm you know, I'm a bigger guy. I care about how stuff fits, and I know like you said earlier, everyone kind of uses the same blanks, and so it's just that much better for me. So I rather just buy from. I don't buy from bigger brands really much.
And I think it's becoming a thing where it's like in Houston, it is very big on supporting locals now.
Like, I don't
like,
really.
It's just like.
For me, I like to buy people that are just starting off. Like at one of our pop-ups, a homie that always buys our pins, he came and was like, "Hey man, I'm dropping my first pin." I was like, "No way." And he showed it to me, and I was like, "All right, can I cop it? It's cool." He's like, "Yeah, I haven't dropped any, but yeah, for sure." And you never know, like, the influence that I'll have on somebody else, you know. And so like, and like I went, so we did another pop up that, you know, they just started off, and I was like, you know what, it's my homies, they're gonna start their first market, let's do it. And there wasn't a lot of people, but there was like a small little booth of people that went to U of H. They were in the same like photography thing as me. And like they were selling their stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cop one from each of y'all, you know, because it's like it goes a long way, you know, like. And
you don't know if that's that one buy. It's like gonna motivate them
to
be like,
do it again, like just repetition. You gotta take a lot of L's before you get your first W, like especially in any business, you know.
No, like this is opening up like my mind and shit, because
I'm glad, bro.
Because I feel like I design for a lot of brands, and a lot of times I don't even buy that whatever I design, you know, like. But it's not like I said, it's not because like I don't support or whatever. I mean, I'm the one designing the stuff, but it's like, I'm like, all right, well, whatever money I got from this design, I'm gonna put towards this. And, you know, if they decide to like, I never expect like a gift or like y'all brought today, you know. But if like, sometimes I'll be like, hey bro, like, because you designed it, like, you know, this is on me or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate it. But I never, if I'm gonna buy something, it's like either, for sure it's gonna be a supportive thing, you know, or it's like because I have this extra money.
Let me just put it out. Let me just put it like this: for him to buy himself something in general is freaking hard. I told him to give me his Christmas wish list, and he still hasn't given it to me. Because he doesn't want me to buy anything for him, and I'm just like, let me just get you something. So for him to buy it for himself, if he does have the money, he'd be like, oh, let me go get Milo some some clothes or something, you know, like that.
But I mean, that's how it is.
I think it's part of growing up, and also like
for sure.
Yeah.
This is like what y'all do full time, right? Like y'all do designing.
No, I have my job, and she does her jobs too. But I mean, like
I feel like it's like that mindset of like, you know, like that like gig work or whatever. Like it's like you have to like, I gotta be real strategic with anything that I spend on, you know.
So
I get it.
And
I think too, like as a business owner, especially in these times right now, you have to be understanding of like the economy right now. Like people are struggling, you know, like a lot of people are struggling. So you can't expect everybody to buy a $50 shirt, you know. Like sometimes I think like I wouldn't even buy a $50 shirt. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be realistic with yourself.
That was one thing that we always. I actually was the one that I never wanted to raise the price. Like, no, bro, like that's too expensive. Let's not charge what everyone else charges.
That's true.
But then you kind of see, like, you know, throughout the years, like 2018 versus now, 35 and that 50 is kind of like at the times maybe 35 was actually expensive, you know, and 50 now is just kind of the norm, bro.
That's the norm.
Like, I don't like charging 50 because I know that a lot of other brands do. So I always want this, keep it a little lower, but it's like you said, everything's getting expensive. I feel like if it's a all over print tee, front and back, I mean, that's a $50 shirt. Like
it is a $50 shirt.
You know what I'm saying? And if they like it, they're gonna pay the $50. And it really showed yesterday that people are willing to spend it, and then to buy both of them. You know?
And I think customers don't see. I mean, they see what the shirt cost and this, but they don't see the hours that it took me all week to get this drop ready.
Well, they don't know the process.
The 40 hours. Yeah, they don't know the process. But it's okay. Like, but I mean, I just love it. It's just a part of my life now. But they don't see the 40-hour week that I put in, like trying to get this design mocked up and this, talking to the printer, like all that stuff. Or if we do a photo shoot, like I don't get paid to do the photo shoots, you know? And so it's like, I don't think people see the other expenses of like creating a shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're saving money by not getting like another photographer.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had to like get a designer, get a photographer, get the shirts, you know, and then get them printed on. Like that's a lot of money. Like, you know.
Sure. You want to go one last break?
Yeah.
One last break.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where we left off. Like
We can
before.
go for what y'all got. I mean,
Start over.
But let's talk about like the whole, because you brought it up a little bit, like about like you didn't want to drop like Houston stuff, right?
Yeah.
So did you not want to do that because you felt like it was gonna just enclose you? Like, oh, we did talk about it a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
elaborate on it.
Yeah.
You just mentioned it, and we didn't elaborate on it.
Yeah, I think
So,
at first I wanted to stay as much away from the Houston stuff because I felt like at the time it was a little cliche. But I mean, I have Houston stuff that I wear all the time, but it was just like I wanted to do something different from what was already being done by other new brands. You know, like everybody wants to make a brand, they're gonna do something that's Houston, like off the rip. And so I figured, why not introduce this? Like, because at first we made it music, art, and culture. And so I was thinking like, well, why don't we bring in some kind of artier stuff, more like higher
things that you can see in the store.
Yeah,
that was like our
things you can see in the
vision.
store, like you can
Things
see
that where you see this and you don't know
LA,
this, like you don't know where it's
You don't
from.
know where it's
When you
from.
see our
Yeah.
stuff, you don't know where it's from.
Yeah.
or you want it bought like from other states and shit too.
Yeah,
you know, like,
exactly. And so that was my big thing. But now, like I said, I think earlier I mentioned, like in retrospect, it's like I was trying to fly before we could walk. You know, like I think you have to build your community at home first, get those people to support you, and then that movement will move. But you got to be flexible to where you can drop a T-shirt that'll sell that's not Houston related as well too. You know, you have to have a little bit of both. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's why my brand hasn't, like, I'm not gonna say it hasn't popped off. Like, I'm not waiting for it to pop off or whatever, but it's just like the sales aren't that like high because it's not. I don't have much Houston
Yeah.
stuff in there, so
But that's
like,
why I like your brand.
yeah. So it's like
Because it's not
it,
Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, but
Yeah, because
it's,
he always
you
does
just-
try to stay away
Yeah.
from like.
You just gotta go hard like with
Yeah.
designs, bro. Like the one with
Yeah.
the gun, to me, I don't know how you did,
Yeah.
but to me that was hard.
There is one that you made. I
love
think
it.
you might have bought it. The one that's in Spanish. What is
No
it?
Estoca
Ganada. Estoca
Ganada.
That
Yeah.
one resonated with me because, but I think feel like that was like a Hispanic kind of like,
Yeah.
like
I love
tea,
how
you know.
did that, yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think you know, we can get lost sometimes in like the whole like streetwear idea, but a lot of things like for me, like I've been wanting to implement more of the Hispanic heritage into our brand. So like
Yeah.
one that I like a lot is they're in LA. What are they called? Los Paisas or no? No, Los Paisa Boys. I don't know if you've ever
I
heard of
don't know,
them.
never heard of
Check them out, but they're very like they very show their, you know, the Mexican American side of it, and so they have like shirts that's like bimbo and like.
But that's what I was
that.
gonna say. But is it like corny, like Hispanic stuff, or is it?
Their
Like,
stuff is hard,
No,
bro. Their
their
stuff's
stuff is
hard.
crazy, and it's not corny because the way that their marketing is funny. So it's like a bunch of memes that they post, and then they'll post their shirt after. You know, so they'll post a bunch of memes and then their shirt. So it's like it's not corny at all. I would check them out if y'all had a chance to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Paisa Boys,
I,
love
feel
them.
like a lot of the brands that like as the girl brands that I know, right, are very like
that are like Latino brands.
Latino brands, right? But they use the
Mija.
soy chingona or shit like that,
Yeah.
you know. Which I mean, it's to each their own, right? But to me,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to wear a shirt that like says soy chingona.
Let me see if I
like
can pull it over so you can see
you know,
it.
you know what I mean? Or like I don't know, like
Yeah, well, since we're on the topic though, like what are some other brands that like y'all fuck with, like that like y'all like or whatever?
Yeah, as far as like in the U.S., Houston,
Like
in
just
general.
Houston, different states,
Check them out.
like California.
yeah,
Oh, that shit is different though, cause
it's different.
the ones we're talking about are usually like
Egerton, like
Yeah.
over like very like Chicana, like
it's pretty cool.
yeah. No, they're tight. If y'all have a chance to look at their stuff, like definitely look at it. They're huge in LA.
that's like a font that I would
Yeah.
probably use.
And I think they just collaborated with I want to say
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the teams out there.
I like this
with
one.
what?
I think they collaborated with like a team out there. I
Oh,
think-
really?
It might have been like the LA Rams or something like
This
that.
is a nice shirt.
Oh,
that's
dope.
But the way that they present it is hilarious because that's like the way I joke around a lot too. I use like memes and I'll show you like funny videos.
Boys.
Yeah, like so definitely somebody to check out. But I mean, I'm big on like Hispanic like heritage and like, you know, trying to show that and
Yeah.
stuff. But as far as brands that I like, I mean, I grew up on the hundreds. I started looking at the hundreds because when I was in class, I had the computer class, and you know they block all the websites, and so the one that I can get to was thehundreds.com, and they had a blog, which was Bobby's blog, which is like huge. Everybody, or if I don't know if you saw it before, but he would post like pictures of him like at events, or he would post like products that are coming out, and so I would just read it every day. He was posting every day. And so that's where it started, like that love for like streetwear and like storytelling and stuff. And so that's my first influence. I mean, Off-White to me is a big one. Virgil is like a hero to me. Like I love everything that he's put out.
And he really is a Virgil fan.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like no shot at everybody, but people just knew Virgil from the shoes. Yeah, but like this man, like studied Virgil, watched fashion shows. It's not like I was at his crib one day and all we did was just watch like his fashion shows, the behind the scenes of him cutting and sewing. Yeah, like he really is.
Yeah, like I was heartbroken when he passed. Yeah, like
and like, I didn't know who Virgil was until his shoes came out.
I think the reason is like I was hoping that our brand would one day get to the point where like, you know, we interact with him and like, you know, he'd see our brand, you know. And so I was like, damn, like that's like this big goal that I have, like a dream, and then he passed away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it was like it was tough for sure. Yeah. But that's some of the big ones. But I'm inspired by a lot of like Houston brands too. Yeah. Like I mean, you have like Slump, who's like the big dog here in Houston. You know, I love seeing all their work. You know, you have some of the younger guys like Thrilled. What is it? Collective.
Collective Culture.
Collective Culture.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Actually, those guys are from U of H, so that's why I like it too.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Seeing them blow up, it's crazy. But also like our hometown here is like Urban Assault, which is right here, like right by Alameda Mall. Like he was basically like a mentor to us, and so that was another hard one when they closed.
Danny.
Yeah, Danny. When Danny and his business, what is it called? I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, when they closed, I mean that's some.
I almost cried when Danny posted or Urban Assault posted that they were gonna close. Like I was sad, bro.
Yeah, we took a picture with them outside.
I saw the picture.
They were the first, like to me, they were the first streetwear in Southeast.
Yeah, you know,
like, so he was always in store, right?
Yeah,
like he was always like there.
Yeah, and so. Because we were going there like 2012, 2013, like right out of high school.
Yeah,
like, you know
we weren't even buying stuff. We were just there to chill and talk to him.
Yeah, we would just go talk to him. We've always been cool with him. Like we would literally. There's more times I stopped just to go talk to him. Yeah. Than to buy something.
That's dope.
And he told me that one day, I don't know how it came up, but he was like, "You don't gotta come in here to buy nothing, bro. Like, just stop by and say what's up." You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I would do. If I had free time, I would always go in there and just chop it up with him. And that's so like dope. To see that shit was closing, and, you know, because people. You know, people out here that are, you know, take from you that, you know, want a handout and stuff, you know, to close for that reason just broke my heart, you know. Yeah. I can't stand the thief, bro. That's probably like one of the biggest things I hate in this world is the thief, you know. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I feel like I've only had one interaction with him, and that's where I bought my jersey from, the blue Astros jersey. I remember. That's where, and then whenever I bought it, you know, I just. Because at that time, I wanted to get my brand, like, in stores and stuff. So I asked someone, like, how would I get, like, a brand in here? And he's like, oh, yeah, bro, just bring some stuff or whatever, and then we can, like, talk about it. But I just never went back. But but he was, I could tell from that, like, that he was a good person, you know?
Yeah. So no, for sure. That's pretty dope. Absolutely. Like, he definitely, like, mentored us throughout the whole process. I mean, like, he was the first person I went to whenever we first got our shirts made, right? Like, I asked him for a quote, and then he was like, yeah, this is how much it'll be. And it was a little pricier from the other person that I talked to. And he straight up told me, don't buy 100 shirts. Don't buy 100 shirts. Like, just start off the minimum, for real. Start with the minimum. We're like, all right. And then I got the price. And then I called this other dude, and he was like, yeah, well, I can knock 40% off of that price. And then we ended up doing them. And he didn't care how many we ordered. He just did it, you know? And, I mean, and that's no shot to him. I mean, he's doing his business, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yeah. But we ended up going back to Danny and then stayed with Danny for like a long time, you know what I'm saying? That's and so, yeah, man. So,
did you think to yourself, fuck, why didn't I listen to him?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. To this day, I'm like, why did I spend all that money? Probably could have.
You were so excited. You were so excited.
No, it happened to us too with Superior, remember?
Man, Superior, it was these hats, bro.
Oh my God.
That was my first like collection or whatever. Man, I ordered, I don't even know how many hats. But
we ordered red, blue.
I think I spent like $750 on hats. And this is my last one. Like I have like the colors. I have the different ones. Like, but
we had they weren't pins. It was little buttons. Right?
We used to give those away with every order.
Well, we did too. So we had like one with the logo. So it was the button was like the actual design, and it was all in different colors. So if you got like a green hat, you got a green button.
Yeah, the black on black.
Yourselves?
The buttons?
The buttons?
No.
Oh.
Y'all have the machine, right?
We made the machine. We like make them ourselves, man. Don't buy the machine. It's such a process.
Time,
it took like 4 people to do them like quickly. So we would make like 100 at a time. And so his little brother would come and he would love to just help out. And so he'd be the one like pressing them. My babe, we were cutting them at one point, but then we found out on the Cricut you can make the circles. So then we started making the circles, and then I was designing them. Like it was a whole thing.
We do not put those in there no more because we don't make them anymore.
It's too much work.
But it's crazy because whenever I saw y'all had the little machine or whatever, I started looking up the machine.
Yeah.
And be like, man, you can buy this thing? Like,
yeah, it's crazy,
wild.
right?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where either you want to save the money and like not pay somebody to do it for you, and spend the time, which is the time is what we don't have, so that's what you pay somebody else to do it.
That's the thing that we've had to realize, like
time,
we want to start printing ourselves, but then it's like that balance of like, is it worth the time to learn a whole new craft and take away from what's like actually creating the designs? And so you got to figure out what's best for your brand, you know?
Yeah, no, because we did the first time we did the screen print was with This and Much More, because we did the merch.
Oh, that's right.
But it was merch, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like, fuck it. We told the people, like, it's us doing it.
Like,
you know? I would even
if you get a fucked up shirt, it's the first shirt we ever did, you know? Like.
But it's funny because I would post like on the story, like, oh, this is his. He did this one, I did this one. Mine's are always better.
Talking shit.
But that shit's hard.
It is hard, bro.
Getting the screens like right.
Yeah.
I know,
like nerve-wracking.
You know what's so funny? Like with the screens, you have to be really careful, like where you don't wash it too much, or it's actually gonna come off. And then he had like a perfect screen, and I was like, oh, I think there's bubbles, and I scraped it, and it fucked up the whole screen.
I know you were
damn, yeah, that shit
shut down, bro.
You gotta wait a whole day.
Like, let's just do it tomorrow.
Yeah, the times that we did do it, like they just came over when everyone was like already set up and everything. But like, dude, I've struggled so much making screens. That's the hardest part for me, getting the screen made. Like, I still haven't figured it out. That's why I don't do it as much. But like, so we have somebody that makes the screens for us, and then I'll start doing it. You know?
Really?
Yeah. You can pay. There's online people that can do it, or if you get it plugged with somebody, they can hook you up. But yeah, you can pay for screens. I mean.
Yeah, and then I used to work at a screen print shop too, and then with Jerry, and he told me whenever he saw our story that we were gonna screen print our stuff, he's like, bro, you need this, or like he called me, he's like, what are you doing? Like, you need this and that, and all like, oh,
but then
shit,
he's like, you need this something bell. What is it? Like you said.
Oh, like the
dryer.
The dryer. And I'm like, we're not gonna buy it.
But I told Roland, I'm like, we're just doing like, you know, small, like, you know.
Yeah, so we bought a flash dryer and stuff.
But since he's thinking like a professional, you know.
Important.
Yeah, you're not gonna spend $4,000 on something to make $100 worth of t-shirts. You know, like, it doesn't make sense. And so I mean, we bought a flash dryer, which is a small one that you can just. It'll work. It takes way longer. It takes way longer.
That's the one we have, right?
Yeah.
Like, we literally just took it out whenever y'all got here. Yeah. Because it was in here.
But I like just the hands-on process of learning to print. You know, it helps like learning the craft and then making samples.
You kind of understand.
But it's just such a time-consuming process. Like,
and since it's like a team, like, have you ever thought about like doing like just like a one vlog as like 2 vlog, like the whole process of it?
We've tried it. It's just hard. It's like we did like 4 vlogs on it, but it's just hard.
We have a YouTube right now. I mean, you can go back and see the process.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish we could continue more, but it's just hard. Like, cause for me, it's like I'm already like doing a lot of design side. It's like to add another thing. It's like I'd rather pay somebody to record our vlog than to like do it myself, because it's just another thing. Like, you know, and I got a full-time job too.
You can go back, bro. We were acting a fool in those vlogs.
We're acting a fool for sure.
You want to move it?
This one's about to die too. Look, it's blinking.
Oh, damn.
We'll have the audio.
Okay,
so y'all listen to the audio.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It happens.
Before though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just I feel like it just shows that it's good combo, you know,
for sure.
Or I just need new batteries, like more batteries and shit. But
double the batteries up.
Yeah, we do need to buy the other batteries.
But yeah, what are y'all's like future plans or like goals and stuff with the brand?
You wanna go first?
I think for me, just to stay consistent and grow and just keep growing, bro. It's never enough, you know.
Yeah.
We already have like the people that support us, but I'm always trying to like that's why I like pop-ups, because there's always new people, like brand new people that don't know us, and so just to keep growing and, you know, hopefully to live off of this one day, bro. Like,
that'd
I'm
be
tired of
crazy.
working.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here. I wish I could not work and just do this, but obviously that's not realistic right now.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, and I think for me, I mean, it's the same thing. We have like a roadmap that we developed, like I think earlier this year, and so we set like a 5-year plan of like what we want to be in 5 years, and like every year, like the points that you want to get to, you know. You know, I've had the pleasure to work with like CEOs in their companies, and they all have like a 5-year plan, and obviously they have other things past that, but you need to have that roadmap to see where you want to go. So like if something does happen in the way, like anything that stops you, you still know where you need to get to, you know. And so like we have a 5-year plan. At the end of our 5-year plan is to open up a store, you know. Oh, yeah. We've almost opened a store twice already. For real? And we've not done it both times, and we just keep going back to the same thing. It's like, you know, we all have jobs. It's like we'd have to all, like, one of us would have to quit or work there the whole time, and from what we can afford right now is just something here in Pasadena or something like that. And you know, and we'd be reliant on like people coming in and inviting people to come, you know, versus if we go wait a long, like 5 years, go to somewhere like in Midtown or somewhere there's traffic already, and then it's like you rely on that traffic plus whatever you're doing, you know? And so yeah, that's kind of stopped us, and we've just stayed online for it. But
see, I love the online. I'm trying to like, it's getting there though. Like you know how I said in the beginning, like people just struggle to buy online. A lot of those people now don't mind at all, and so I just want to keep growing online. Like that's what we are. We're an online brand. Like just people are getting more comfortable with that already.
It just works more.
It's just,
you know, in a way, like it works because you don't have to pay for a storefront. Because so for me, like I've told him that for my brand, I never really wanted a store. I always wanted like the warehouse, you know, and then
just for storage,
and then do my pop-ups there, like a warehouse. Like it's not a storefront, you know, but like
a space,
like a space where I have my inventory, you know, and then if I ever want to do a pop-up, like it's there, like, you know, and the inventory is there. But if people want to like not pay the shipping, like they can pull up at the warehouse, and it's like, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's just like the goals are like, it's good to have a 5-year plan. Like I should probably do one.
I would recommend it. It's good to have a roadmap because, you know, there's gonna be like I think of the roadmap as like literally like a map, right? Like there's gonna be closures, there's gonna be weather delays, but since you have that map, you know where you need to get to, so you can pivot, be flexible, and then get to that point, you know. But I think the reason that I've always wanted a storefront is because of the sense of community, you know. It's like for kids that are coming up or just creatives, like my ideal store is like, yeah, we have the shop, but we have like a workspace where, you know, kids, they're young, can come and learn about like screen printing, learn about starting a business, have people that can show them, you know. It's about giving back to the community too of creatives. And so
that would be dope.
That's my ultimate goal, is like to have a space where people, even just like high school kids, can come in and just chill, you know, be at the store, chill, like feel a little bit of like what the brand is about, you know. And you get to curate that space. And so like with the idea that we had with the place that we were about to open recently, it's like I wanted it to be like a workspace, like we have like a workshop room, and then we have like a kind of like an art gallery to it as well too, so we can curate artists and coming in, you know. And so and then also have the store there that can, you know, the merch changes, but I mean
it's a big vision, and it's pretty dope, you know, like to have. So
I think realistically, like, just, I mean, I would love to have it in Pasadena and South Houston and have it for people here, but it's just like realistically, if you want the business to grow, you want to do it in like these prime locations, you know. So I
agree.
Or make it a prime location.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to stay here if we get a store.
Because
I'm all about Southeast.
No, yeah, because
like
we're like when we talked about like for this and much more, like I mentioned earlier, like, you know, since it's at our house or whatever, we want it to be where it's called Studio 1017, right? Like that's the studio where we want to house like all our businesses out of, you know, like have this and much more there, like the podcast room. Hopefully, like rent out another space for somebody who wants to do like a podcast, you know, or randoms, and then just store out of like our brands and all that stuff. But I mean,
and then because some of our brands, like, well, on the tags it'll say made in studio or made created in Studio 1017, which is our house, you know, like because we're just like creating all this shit here, and then but eventually we want to have like a big ass building. It's gonna say Studio 1017 outside.
We were close to getting one too, specifically for this and much more, right? But and we wanted to stay like, you know, in this area too, you know, because it's one of those things like, okay, I don't, you know, Christian Guzman, like the fitness guy.
Maybe.
Alpha Land.
Alpha Land.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know that.
Okay,
yeah.
well, like him, like he made like the Sugar Land, right? That's where he's from.
Yeah, he's in Sugar Land.
Like he made that like the prime location.
Yeah,
like,
so his whole thing is because he lives there, and the whole like his story is crazy, bro. But he made everything like his businesses like a 10-mile radius from where he stays. Like he never wanted to leave Sugar Land, so now
that was just how I am.
So now he made Alpha Land, and now he gets everybody to go to Sugar Land.
Yeah, people fly in.
Yeah, they fly in just to go.
St. James Harden was there. So.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's like we've always wanted to house it close to where we live because it's just like why not make Pasadena, South Houston, Southeast the prime location.
It would have to be a collective though, because if you look at the demographic of Sugar Land versus Pasadena, it's a huge difference in when you look at the socio-economical levels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like people in Sugar Land definitely have money to go spend $50 on a tea or like $120 for membership. You know what I'm saying? You bring that here, like people don't make that kind of money over here, you know?
Yeah.
And so it would have to be a collective to where like multiple brands pop up in one place to where people would make that journey to come over here and check it out.
Yeah, but you know what too though, it's like it's changing because like Magnolia, right, like in like the hood, I used to live there, so now when you go there, it's like downtown, it's slowly growing
towards there.
Houses at Magnolia are going for like $300K.
Yes, and it's just like okay, you know, and it's so it's like, but you're true, like I mean you're saying like the truth, right, like as in like a lot of us have to
it's all about the demographic and the people around.
Damn, that's some good business talk.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've worked in marketing for like 9 years. Like, so, like, even like from when I first started, I was working just like grassroots. So, like, I was working with McDonald's. Like, so they have like an advertising company that like they would go to every event, and I had to wear like a McDonald's shirt and give out McDonald's prizes. Like, that's my first marketing I started, and then I started getting into marketing and stuff. And so, it's luckily I've been able to learn a lot through the business and through marketing and stuff. So yeah.
What about any future drops?
Well, we have for sure the one of, so I touched on it a little bit, but I don't know if y'all know this might open for you guys to like to do stuff too, but anybody watching or listening, but so there's like resources online which is like Creative Commons, like, you know, artwork that's old enough to where you can use it because it's like there's no trademarks on it, whatever. And so we've gone through and looked for different art pieces and stuff like that we can use. And so one of the ones that we found is like one of our favorite art pieces, and then we put our Nothing Comes for Nothing.
Like we like destroy it.
Basically, we destroyed it.
Like it's an art piece, and then we'll like slap
our stuff on there. And so what I did is I did the Nothing Comes for Nothing on. I'll wait till we drop it. Yeah, because I don't know where I have it on my phone. But basically, we put the Nothing Comes from Nothing on there. But it's like made with like paint and like, so I took like literally a thing of paint, like acrylic paint, and I did like Nothing Comes from Nothing. Took a picture of it, cropped it out, and then put it on the image because the image is made out of paint. So I kind of like put it on there to like kind of look similar to it. And so we're making the hoodies for it, and then we're thinking of something along the lines of like gallery on top. Like kind of like an art gallery and like logo kind of looking thing. And so that's kind of like the one that we're dropping next.
It's like finding art pieces but making it like our own. And so the next thing we have is like our friends and family one, so we'll definitely look out for you guys on that too. But we try to do every Christmas time we'll do like one collection for just friends and family. So we give it out free, and it's like our Christmas we give out these in baby blue.
We did them in baby blue for all our friends and family. And so
that's dope.
And it was just tight to go and give it to them, and like even like
they were all surprised because we didn't tell them.
Yeah, we didn't tell anybody, and we just took a picture with it like that, and then we ended up taking like video and clipping it all together and stuff like that. It was just our way to kind of like show love to our people, you know.
That's badass.
We went down the list, and it was like first it was like without the list, like just off the head, like this person gets from this person, and then we went like, okay, it was like spent the most money because they're gonna get it.
Like for like people that did spend a lot, also family, like, and all their business people, and like I think we probably spent like $500 just giving those out.
Yeah, we just gave them all the way.
But it's cool because y'all considered it like the Christmas gift, and it's part of like the brand.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't even think about like my like little siblings that are like in high school. They like wear it every day. Like I didn't think it was gonna be such an impact to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they see what we do, but like just them knowing that we looked out for them was like, this is exclusive to just you. Like it meant a lot to them. And so like I'll see them at school, whatever, and they have like their shirt on and stuff. I'm like, dang, like that's crazy.
That's fucking dope. That is crazy.
I feel like it's like one, like how Mario for his birthday asked for the shirt. We still have to give him the shirt.
Oh shit, I forgot about this.
No, but since we haven't seen him.
Yeah, we haven't seen him.
No, but because my little cousins, like Huh?
No,
No, my little cousins, I feel like that's how they are with like Superior with his brand, right? But I know that they don't make the money. So like my cousin, he turned like 18 or 17. No, 17. I was like, oh, Mario, what do you want for your birthday? He's like, all I want is a Superior shirt. He's like, because I can't afford it. And I'm just like, okay, you know.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
You had
all the things he can ask for. He wants your stuff, bro.
You had two cousins asking the same thing for the bag, right? Your little cousins asking
Oh, yeah.
the bag.
My godchildren, Victoria. I don't know if y'all know her, Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
She just shared
her,
yeah.
She
shared
she
DM'd. She sent me a DM.
Yeah, her kids are my god kids.
Oh, okay.
Victoria's a big supporter. She definitely got a free hoodie last year.
Definitely got a free hoodie.
She buys everything. Has never hesitated to buy or has never asked me to
never asked for discount, anything, nothing.
As discount's another thing we could talk about. But she sent me a little. She bought a side bag. She bought it. And then her little kid, she sent me like a little voice note. You know, on iPhone you can send voice notes. And they're like, because my family calls me Mikey, and they're like, Tío Mikey. They're little. They're like 7. I'm gonna get their ages wrong. 7 and 5, I think, something like that. And I hope I'm not that off. But they were like, we want a bag like mommy, and I was just like, I'll see what I can do. but they wanted to. But they're little. They obviously
we're gonna make it.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen for sure. Yeah. Well, I haven't forgot about you, Victoria.
But damn, that's crazy. Like, you know, it makes me happy to hear that y'all give back like that, you know, because we like to give back, you know, and really this is why we started this much more, like, to let other people.
This is awesome that y'all do this, bro.
En Alegres Milagros.
Oh yeah, and for sure.
I mean, I saw that video and I thought that was so dope.
This is gonna be our 3rd year, and honestly, we weren't gonna do it this year because it's like hella stressful. Like, people don't know. Like, I'm just gathering money and buying the toys, but these toys gotta get to Mexico somehow, you know. We don't go to Mexico every weekend. Like, we barely go twice a year, if anything, you know. So I have to like get in contact with like his dad's friends, his tios, to like see who can take a box. And see, the thing is, at the border, the max you can take is 10 toys per person.
I didn't know that.
So any toy, if they get you and they check and you have more than that, you gotta pay a fee for each toy.
Yeah, so that's more money.
So it's just like, but I'm glad we're doing it because this year is gonna be bigger. Well, we told you about the shirts. You know, we're doing the baseball shirts, hopefully.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then the toys. And this year we're doing it's a 4x4, so it's like trucks are racing there, right?
Trucks, ATVs.
Yeah, so they do like a little kid, like they have like a competition between boys and girls where they run and during like through the mud or whatever. Milo did it this time we went, but it was just like a random one, and they usually give out money. So Alegres y Milagros is gonna hopefully get like a bike for one boy, one girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Additional to the 200 and something toys that we take.
And that goes a long way too. I went to Mexico for the first time in like 11 years. This like past month.
What part?
Yeah, Matamoros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I went. It was bittersweet because I went because like my aunt was passing, but so we went to go spend the time with her, and but I got to see the city. You know, I didn't grow up there. My parents grew up there, but I grew up like visiting there all the time, and you know, just now in retrospect, I thought when I was a kid it was cool, you know, like, oh man, Mexico's crazy, right? But I go back, it's like there, you know, there's like a lot more poverty there, and like the way people live is like way different from here, you know.
Yeah.
And so
you see it, see it differently when you're older.
Yeah, and you see what the kids are playing with, and like they're making the best out of it. They're having the time of their life, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so those things go a long way.
It's so funny because the first year we did it, I kind of got played by a little boy that he came on his little bike. I gave out backpacks, like I put vinyl on like the little backpacks, and it said Alegres Milagros, and I put some supplies that I had extra money, so I bought supplies for them. And then the little boy came in his bike, and then he's like,
he took a backpack, and then he
took a backpack and a toy, and then he left, and he came back, and he's like, because I had said the kids need to come and get it, because I didn't want the parents to be like, I had a mom telling me I have 7 kids, like, like you know, bring them, you know, because I need to make sure that these kids
do you really have 7 kids?
You know, so that was the biggest thing for me, like the kids are picking the toys, right? So then he came and he's like, oh, I have a I have a sister, but she's grounded, she can't come. And I was like, you know, I was talking to him for a little while, right? And then he's like, all right, whatever. So I was like, just take the backpack. Fine, take it. And then one of his dad's friends like, él no tiene hermana, es para su novia. And I'm just like,
Yeah, we're like,
Well,
But, you know-
a kid, I guess.
you know, so to me, it's just like, I didn't mind because I
It
was
was
just
still a
like,
kid.
whatever. Yeah, it's still a kid.
It went
like,
to
you know,
another kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's cool,
you'll get
though.
finesse there for sure.
No, yeah. And then, like, we'll have, like, it's more like the parents. The first year we wrapped them up, so they didn't even know. And the kids wanted the biggest gifts. Or the parents would say, me agarra el más grande. When maybe a little one was better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So last year, we didn't wrap them. They could see. And I remember, like, I'm very, like, I love kids, you know. So, like, I'll just grab them and be like, oh, here, you know, if they couldn't see, like, I'll carry them. And then I was carrying a little baby, and then she wanted a doll head, and the mom wanted her to get like the Barbie house, and the little girl really wanted the little Barbie, the little one.
Kids want what they want.
And then
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, no, el que ella quiera, and she's like, no, quiero el grande, and I'm like, and I told the little girl, I'm like, ¿cuál quieres? And she's like, quiero ese. And it's like, okay, we'll take that one, like, you know. And the mom was like, you know, and I'm just like,
instead
girl,
of being grateful,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
like I'll deal with that, you know, and it amazes me. But then it's just like one of those things that like Milo's there, like, and he wants to go to Mexico right now. He's like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, papi, I need to get the money to go buy the toys. And then he went to my purse and grabbed like $5, and he's like, money,
already?
and I'm just like, boy, that's nothing. And he's like, yeah, it's money. Let's go. And I'm just like, so that shows me like, okay, like I'm showing him to give back, you know,
Yeah,
because
no,
it's a
that's
big
awesome.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
No,
For
that's,
sure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding, I think. Like,
Yeah,
you're
it's
able to do that,
super. Yeah,
you know?
it's pretty cool, like, you know, to do
Yeah.
that. But
It's good. We're doing. I feel like us, like both of us and stuff like that. Like all of us here are doing good things and shit. Especially either revolving around the brand or something that we're building. So
yeah,
I think it's dope. But anything else, y'all want to talk
Anything
about?
else that
shout
we
out
need to
y'all's
hit?
names.
We
Oh
pretty
no, I
much
think
hit
we hit
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No,
cool.
thank you guys, man. What y'all are doing here is awesome, and the fact that y'all are like putting so much work to make it happen, it's just like, I mean, that's just our generation, you know. Like we're gonna get it some way or another, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's awesome what y'all are doing. It's professional, you know. We
Thank
love
you,
it.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
So what's y'all's Instagram handle? So
Yeah. So it's at the90Three. It's THE90THREE. Yeah, the 93.
and then at for creative use, right?
And at for creative use.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our any product releases, that'll be the first place to go. Or on Twitter. I mean, Twitter is really my favorite one to be on. Like, I like to let people know right away, or we'll get into conversations on Twitter. That's really my favorite one, but it's like the one we're still growing. But
Oh, okay.
Twitter's
Yeah.
hard. Twitter's hard, right?
yeah,
I
Twitter's
deleted
hard.
my
That's what he
Twitter.
said. I don't have a Twitter. So.
But Twitter is just such a good place for conversation. Like, I like, and memes. Yeah.
That's
But,
dope. Everything's gonna be in the description below.
This is dropping
how many? Yeah, this is dropping. Well, it's already dropped.
Yeah.
So, but if they're listening, but how many subs do we have right now?
Right now we have, when I checked, it was 619.
All right, so we're at
Yeah.
619
Yeah,
subs.
619.
So I
619.
just looked and it
Yeah.
was like a 610.
Oh,
So,
really?
hey,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
awesome.
tight.
Yeah,
And we
6
also talked that we just want to say, if y'all want to choose one of your followers, we'll send them a package. Just choose somebody, however y'all want to do it. Just let us know and we'll send it out to them.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
For
Go
sure.
over.
However
So-
y'all go about that, that's up to y'all.
I think it's gonna be one of the subs because they're sub.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
tight.
Not a follower, because followers we did grow from last
Mm-hmm.
Monday. Right now we're at 5,505.
Yeah, if
Nah, I
they're
just wanna
sub,
say-
if they're sub, they're really trying to watch.
I just want to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
if I may, congrats on y'all's TikTok following, man.
Thank
Because
you. I didn't
He
even
knows.
write that one.
I'm trying to grow on TikTok, bro. Like I'm taking it seriously. I think
Yeah.
so people don't understand. Like it's fun.
No,
I do
you're
it
putting
because-
out content,
Yeah.
bro.
It's hard work.
It's fun too, though. It's really a stress reliever for me. Like it's something I never thought I would ever was gonna do was make TikTok videos. But I'm having fun with it, and I just hit 40. I'm almost to 4,400.
Well, hopefully we'll pick
Yeah.
out Ronan will pick out a good clip so we can put it out there.
Yeah, that'd be
Or
tight.
that'll help you pop off.
But
sure.
you just need that one.
You need
bro.
that
Yeah.
one.
We
yeah.
got our one, and that's what blew us up.
But I feel like we
Y'all
got
got a
that
couple
one.
though, right?
TikTok
Like,
is
Yeah,
hard,
we
though.
got a
I'll say-
couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say TikTok is hard though because TikTok really shows you though that views don't translate to followers, and that's what's so
Oh, no.
Oh
frustrating.
yeah, it's not.
No.
Because I got a couple 100,000, 80,000, but views,
Mhm.
but,
But it's not, yeah.
But you know what's
Oh,
crazy
no.
though? Like our TikTok, it like popped off, right? You know, our views, and then we
Yeah.
started getting like followers.
Yeah.
And I would tell him, man, I want these followers to go to Instagram. And now our Instagram is like popping off. Like
Yeah.
whenever we
Yeah.
went on break earlier, we had like 68. Let me see. how many followers we have right now.
That's what's up, man. Keep just because
But
y'all are so
if-
consistent.
y'all doing something right.
But if
That's
only
it.
those
Oh, it's not
turn
that
into
big.
subs, you know, like.
So then I told him, I was like, man, I want the followers from TikTok to go to Instagram, and now it's going, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I want those followers to go
The
subscribe.
YouTube. I don't know
you
why though, but YouTube is the hardest one.
Yeah, it is.
Out of
It
the
is
three that we're
hardest.
talking about, YouTube is hard.
It just seems like if it's such a hassle to just fucking follow, bro. Like,
It
it's
is.
crazy.
And I
you know?
think people will have to see y'all's content like 3 or 4 times before they actually follow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
But
mean,
y'all
it's
doing
like
something
just
right,
it's
for
just
sure.
it's just a button. Just subscribe.
I
Like
know.
that's it. We only
It's
drop
like
once
pulling
a week.
teeth. It's like
Yeah.
pulling teeth, bro. Like it's so hard for people to like, share, and subscribe. It's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is really hard. It's so funny, but I mean,
like
it's
said,
cool.
I like to say
Yeah.
I since day one I subscribed and
Thank you.
I've been
Thank you. We
I've
appreciate
been
it.
watching and
If you,
I'm happy to be on it now.
I was gonna ask you, which one have you liked? Like, you know.
I liked. I watched the tattoo guy. Like,
Oh, Alex.
Yeah.
Alex is the
And
one.
I actually, I'm gonna be real. I like watching just y'all though. That's
Ours?
my
Yeah.
I like watching just y'all too.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why.
I
but
thought those were like the least favorite.
those are my
honestly.
favorite
Yeah.
because I get to
that's cool.
see like y'all just be yourselves and
Yeah.
not necessarily have to worry about asking questions to somebody else. Y'all just chop it up. Like it's
Yeah,
funny.
it's so funny because
So-
that's literally the time that we actually get to conversate without Milo interrupting us. So I know
Yeah.
that in some like where we're by ourselves, I feel like sometimes we do go at it, but we try to
And
like
then y'all
play
are
it
funny.
off.
y'all, like, man, do those more, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
Thank
Appreciate it,
you.
appreciate
Well,
it.
honestly,
We'll
I'm
try.
glad you told me that because I don't like doing the ones where we're by ourselves because I feel
Really?
because I like it.
Those are
I
the
do
ones I
like
click on
them.
first.
I feel like they're like filler.
Yeah, but they're
episodes, you know,
filler
but-
episodes, so I
Yeah.
feel like people don't enjoy those
Yeah.
as much.
You
know,
feel
but-
obligated to have that new person.
Maybe
right?
maybe not
Yeah,
everyone's
I
like
do
me,
feel-
but
yeah.
I like watching just y'all
Oh,
too.
thank you.
Yeah.
But build that up, build that dynamic between y'all, and then from there, it's
No,
like
yeah.
people are gonna
No,
want to
'cause
see y'all, and then that's a bonus.
Because
you know,
I do
yeah.
like when we do it. I mean, it's actually like it's fun. Like,
And I love
we're
to see
just
y'all drinking
chilling.
on there. I guess I'm such a, I'm a drinker, bro. Like see y'all drinking.
We need to
because
do
it's so
one.
relaxed though. Like
Yeah.
I like to say, I like how you pour yours in the glass. Like
Yeah.
it's so chill. Like it's so chill, man.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like- so when I had first seen like y'all sipping on the podcast, I was like, man, that's so dope, bro. Like,
Yeah, and honestly,
Yeah.
it helps the guests like loosen up a
Yeah.
lot. Like a lot of the times, like the first 30 minutes are like,
So
and then we go on a break and take like a freaking 30-minute break, and then we come back and the.
So
person's
I'm not
like,
gonna lie.
"Oh."
When I found out ours was at 10 a.m., I was like, "We're definitely not gonna drink." In my head, I was like, "Man, I want to drink." I ain't even gonna lie. I have no shame in that. But when I was like, "Dang, 10 a.m. We're not drinking."
That is so funny.
we took a shot though. So
Yeah, we did take
Yeah,
a
right.
shot. Yeah.
But
But
all right, so I
overall,
guess that's it.
yeah.
Appreciate you guys coming.
For sure,
you know,
man.
Absolutely.
again.
And sorry guys, the camera has died. Let's blame Roland because he doesn't have extra extra
Ah.
batteries.
I need extra batteries. I need another mic. You know,
But this is like a 2-hour episode though.
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
it was a good episode.
It's a
So
good episode,
again,
yeah.
appreciate y'all, and that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you
So that's
for
it.
watching and listening.
Yes, sir. Peace.